I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night, and it's a debate. It's a little earlier than a lot of them. This is because it's hosted on the Lion's Den, which is a channel, group of people that host debates. It seems like they're mostly religion, but they do some flat earth stuff too. Tacori, who you may remember, has been on here a couple weeks ago. He wanted it on the Lion's Den, so I said, sure, I'm happy to do that. They are still preparing. It's a little challenging to actually get them to do anything on time. We were going to have two or three different times. We were going to do a prelim, and finally a prelim started an hour and a half after it was supposed to start. And it was supposed to be 10 minutes. It went half an hour. I'm like, you guys are going to keep, they kept going. They probably spent another hour. I'm like, I gotta go. I mean, you guys, it's a prelim. I don't know what you want to talk about, but anyway, that's what's going on. The format is a little ambiguous. The prelim set the format. Tacori is now saying he wants to change a little bit because he's got some schedule to take care of, which is fine. He wants to be out of here within 3 hours. I'm like, dude, you guys, they go forever. They go forever. So anyway, they don't seem to understand the concept of a rebuttal. You know, you do a presentation and then the other side gets to address the presentation. Not so much. But so we're waiting for that to happen. In the meantime, what can we do? An ambiguous format is a good sign. Well, all right. So if you do go over to their channel, and their YouTube channel, please understand that I'm a guest, and I don't want you guys going over there and kind of messing the place up. Please leave it nice and tidy as you found it, or as tidy as you found it. They're not flurfs. Most of them are not. Apparently Tacori has debated a guy named Zion on this channel, and Zion is just giving Tacori crap in these chats. Sean Hawkins was wondering, can you talk about how Mitchell owes money back? So Mitchell from Australia. Oh dear. So Mitchell was, he went to a science museum down in Australia, probably not too far from where he lives. And they had a Foucault pendulum, and it did not precess. He said that he filmed it 4 different times at about an hour apart, and that none of the times did it precess. The interesting thing, though, for Mitchell is that he accepts, by saying that this somehow is evidence for anything, he accepts that Foucault pendulums are evidence. Now, Nathan Oakley, his Papa Flurf, says that Foucault pendulums, they think, don't count as an experiment because they have this super rigid version of science that isn't science. It's actually just science denialism. So everything that they want to reject, they run through this process, and everything that they want to accept, they don't run through this process. So he wanted to accept it, so he didn't run it through the, is this an experiment, super rigid test that basically kicks everything out. He just said, it did this thing, and then he did his modus tollens, and then therefore. The problem is that set up as he did it, and they for some reason they think that one piece of evidence is all you need. It's actually lots of evidence together. Because if one Foucault pendulum can draw a conclusion about the rotation of the Earth, then one other Foucault pendulum can also draw a conclusion. So now we're faced with 2 Foucault pendulums, one that shows a precession and one that doesn't. What do you do with that, flatties? Well, you test again. You want things to be repeatable. So you do it again and you go to a different Foucault pendulum and you find out, oh, another one had precession and this one didn't. And then you test again and you're like, oh, look, another one processed, and another one processed, and another one processed. And you get this pile of evidence of Foucault pendulums that process. And then you have the outlier. Well, when you're analyzing things and you have an outlier, then you say, well, why did that outlier happen? Did we discover some new thing about the universe that we didn't know before? Could be. Or was there a problem? Was there something that should have happened but did not happen? Was there an error in the setup? Was the analysis wrong? That's where you need to go and analyze it and find out what happened. And if in the end you discover we just don't know, which is ungood, it's possible that can happen. And you say, okay, we have an outlier and we have all this other stuff. So, all right. I have just received a link to the StreamYard that they are doing. So I'm going to click into that. I'm going to see what they're doing. I'm entering into the broadcast studio. Continue as MC Tune. All right. And I am muted myself and I am, all right. So I'm going to set up the scene here with them. I have a custom scene. I'm going to try to get there. If somebody wants to look to see if they have their live stream up on YouTube so that I can grab their live chat, because I want to put their live chat on the screen here. So I have I'm going to mute myself here. I have a live chat of theirs. So, all right, I need to You're seeing the back scenes here. Tell you what, I'll even let you see it. There you go. And I'm setting this up. So I need to add a new thing so you can get a window capture. And this will be Streamlabs. There, what do you think? You even see Luke Filewalker's thing on the stream there. He says, apparently Mitchell was there again and they closed the exhibition due to a defect, and now he's like, look, told you so, it can't work. Yeah, I saw his video. So I guess I didn't get around to that. He claimed, he did a short video. He did not film it for 4 hours. So certainly he will be wanting to go back to make good on his promise. Because he did say he was going to film it for 4 hours. So he didn't yet do that, which is fine. If the exhibit is not functioning, then it's not functioning. So, all right. Let's get, how does that look? So there's going to be multiple other people in there. And then their live chat isn't yet there. All right. So how do Flurfs explain how water spins clockwise in the northern hemisphere but counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere? Here's a clue they can't. Well, just call me Avi. They, like in toilets or in sinks, they don't really, because the Coriolis effect is a little too small for that to really be significant. You have to really control your variables carefully to make that happen. You can just look at hurricanes though, and they don't have an explanation for hurricanes. I've seen a few try, but oh, we got Tacori coming in. All right, I need to look at their this out of here. See if they have their live stream up yet. They do have a live going, but it's not this one, I don't think yet. Yep. All right, so nothing there yet. And they haven't said anything to me yet. So I'll turn on their speaker. So if they talk, you'll be the first to hear it. Well, I'll be the first. And then a couple seconds later, you'll hear it. But you can see Tacori's in there. We've got Zion in there. Zion's the guy that debated Tacori before. I like Zion. He's pretty good. He's pretty fun. There is, there you go. You should see all that stuff there. All right. Just call me, Abby says. Water does spin from drain points in lakes. in different directions, holes designed to stop the lake from overfilling. Oh, that's a good point. I'd like to see those. Because if there's other currents, it can cause a weird, unexpected, or something that's not caused by Coriolis. So, all right. I have a brand new presentation that I set up just for this, and two others, but only get to use one other because we've dropped it to 2 rounds instead of 3 rounds. So, all right, got my pen, got my Sharpie. All right, do you like me in the middle there? Do you want me separate? Can't really get it to make sense because I can't hide myself in StreamYard. So Ida Pimp Udaho is a new member at Newton. Very, very nice. Thank you, Ida Pimp Udaho. Oh, also, I will be, once we start there, I won't be reading super chats interactively. I'll do them all afterwards. So, and hopefully afterwards, I'll have another debate at 8 p.m. So about 3 hours from now with PJ something, not PJ CNET, a different guy, a big mouth, a keyboard warrior on Facebook, Philip PJ Corrigan, who he talks a lot, but if you look at the screenshots that I put on the thumbnail, it's quite a lot of talk, quite a lot of bluster. Super Milk X. Oh, yeah, that is absolutely correct.
Yo, Tacori, you should call Abdul and.
Or you should call Abdul. You heard Zion there. I don't know who's like the main people of the Lion's Den, but Tacori seems to be in their group chat an awful lot. So, all right. Let's see. We got Dave Kirchner says Tuesday. Effie tries to sell you the whole seat, but it doesn't have an edge. Oh, very nice. Hey, I gotta finish up a little bit of the tab here. I was preparing stuff for this, and there was a Facebook post about maps. People like, send your flat earth maps, and I'm like, I got a ton of maps of flat earthers. And I always like to end the series by putting in the Ultima 5 map. And as Sherlock says, keep the tabs flowing and remember Lake Titicaca. Absolutely. And Mute Donkey says, Philip J. Corrigan. Are we sure that's not PJC? Well, being that Philip J. Corrigan lives in Washington, not in England land, I'm pretty sure. A madman. Bluster is a big word. Does he have any evidence to back it? Of course not. He'll have memes and videos.
That boy done brought this whole house with him.
The state of Washington. Thank you, Joe Whip. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna look again, see if they have their live stream up so that we can watch the chat on their channel. No, not yet. I don't know if they're gonna. They're I don't know why it's taking so long. I don't know who else. It's the Avengers assemble, and it takes just way too long for them. Oh, PJCnet. Mitch complained because Mr. S shown PayPal info. He links under every one of his videos. Mitch is already running and dodging. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, Mitch complained to Mr. Sensible that he clicked the PayPal link on screen. And do note that Mitchell currently has a video with his wife on his channel. Her face is on screen. Her full name is shown. I don't know why and he says that she's his wife. I don't know why he has an issue about doxing. He doxed her himself. So, whatever. So, all right, I'm going to ask him if we're going to start here pretty soon. Hey guys, what's our time frame for getting starting here?
Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up and go and do this real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up and go and do this real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to
He's looping on his own. Oh, dude, this is gonna be a mess. I've watched a few of their others, and there's always technical difficulties. Charlie Welch, TikTok needs to be deleted. That's a good idea.
Oh, I'm looping.
Charlie Welch, TikTok needs to be deleted.
Yeah, you was echoing.
Oh, I'm looping.
Charlie Welch, TikTok needs to be deleted.
Yeah, you was echoing.
Oh, I'm looping.
He's absolutely looping. Put in earbuds. Oh my gosh.
I'm still echoing.
No, I don't hear it.
You don't hear the echo no more?
No more echo. Very good.
Okay, I had another stream up, that's why.
Okay. All right. And the previous person is out. I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching your channel from the other stream, that's why. And so it played into the thingamajiggy. It played into your stream.
The thingamajiggy.
Yeah, the thingamajiggy. The thingamajiggy, man.
Zion is gonna tear you a new one if you say thingamajiggy.
The thingamajiggy.
Oh my God.
What about
Zion,
that?
give it to him now so we can just be done with it.
I'm not judging, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
In the prelim,
So I don't know who
Zion.
the judge is going to be.
In the prelim, Tacori.
I'm not a flat earther.
Thingamajiggy. And
However,
Zion tore into him for it.
Tacori better win this shit.
Why? Wait, hold on a second. Why should Tacori win? You would to Zion.
Because he beat me in the debate. And this is a long story. So my thing is, if he does not win this, he therefore embarrasses me. So if he's going to win against me for whatever technical reasons or whatever like that, he better win. You know what I'm saying? I am not a flat earther. You know what I'm saying? Not by a long shot. However, you know what I'm saying? His persuasive argumentation had bet to be up to par.
How many
that way?
How many judges are there usually?
There
on what?
Be like 3 to 5.
Usually, yeah. Usually it's like 3 to 5 judges.
Okay.
So I think that she's going to try to find some judges. I don't know how it's going to work. Either way, you know what I'm saying, they'll probably go to a poll. If they can't get any judges right now, they'll go to a poll. But I don't know. I just want to see this. This debate. You know, so I've been looking forward to it. I absolutely have been looking forward to it.
All right.
Give them like another 5 minutes. I'm waiting on the host, and then we got 2 other people. We're trying to get the judges on here, and then we'll go from there.
Many Karen says Tacori is loopy. There was comedic timing involved. Yes. Golden Knight. Let's see. The other guys are a bit on the loud side. Can you adjust the volumes? Oh yeah, I can bring theirs down a bit. How about that? I'll watch their levels. I didn't have their levels visible because it's a little non-standard setup for me. So let me see here. I gotta move this here. There we go. Now I'll see their levels. I want to see the best evidence. Well, Flat Earth has to bring the first evidence still. I haven't done that yet. So yeah, so I've watched a few of their shows, and it's definitely interesting. And they're kind of like this. It's a little rough getting started sometimes, but so just a second here. So, no, it's not yet. It's not started yet. Sigwald. We're still waiting for the Lion's Den to get the stuff together. Is the server located in Hell's Kitchen? don't know. There is a Hell's Kitchen in Minneapolis, apparently. I've not been there. Oh, geez. Golden Knight. I want to see a flat Earth model that doesn't involve Arwen in a Borat outfit. Yes, please. Nobody wants to see Arwen wearing a Borat mankini. Oh, jeez. Mute Donkey, I should have scheduled for an hour earlier so we could start on time. Yeah, that's a good idea. I did. Tacori said he works at 7. Now he says he works at 8. So Tacori needs to be done. So whatever he does is up to him. But I have a debate at 8, so that'll probably put a stop to his to a hard stop to the debate. If the judges decide I win, does that mean Tacori is no longer a flat earther? Says Andrea Huddle. Yes, I think so. Tones overthinks it. Would rather see Arwen in a bikini. All right. Let's see. PJC Net loves Arwen. Are you two like a... You get, it's okay. You go ahead there, guys. Is PJC Net here even? I haven't seen anything from him. And Debonk, no. Oakley in a mankini? No. Okay, PJC Net says that he's not here. All right, so they're trying to get judges for this. A poll. Oh my gosh. Team or Arwen in a mankini? All right. Team? Arwen. You'll like this debate. Or poll. There you go. There you go. Oh, you mean Arwen from Lord of the Rings? Yes. All right. There's the poll. You vote. It's up to you. And then I will do my best to make your wishes come true. Somebody has voted for Arwen. Somebody who voted for Arwen. I wish on the poll I could see who did the votes. If 18% went Arwen. Why? Oh, yes, team has already worn the mankini. Apparently it was on Halloween a couple years ago, and he got up to answer the door wearing it without thinking about it. I have walked through that door. Golden Knight, if team wins, will he do it? He's done it. Oh my gosh, 27% for Arwen. Is Karen B in here with 25 sock accounts? That's so fun. That's so funny. Is he making a comeback? Oh my gosh. We're at 29% to Arwen. Please, people, why? Can we get some flurf reaction to the James Webb photos? Just want to see how they can look 400 billion years old galaxies bending in space-time and still be flat earthers. Easy. They just say nuh-uh. They say somehow that all of the people that have spent all those years working on it, designing it, building it, testing it, interacting with it since then, they say, nuh-uh, they're all fooled or they're all in on it. Was Team wearing the mankini when I was there? He was not. I was so glad for that. Any Karen says, I'm not even going to read that. Something, so I voted Arwen. Oh, jeez. All right, so we've got Mad Scientist showed up. So Zion is a spectator. Where's Zion? Zion's right here. Right there. And then we've got Mad Scientist, who is probably a judge. Then we've got Black Beauty Inc. 76 is the host. And we got Tacori is the Tacori. He's the flatty. Oh my gosh. Cap Q57 says, if I lose this debate, I have to put on the mankini. That ain't gonna happen. PJC Net says, my favorite was the sausage photo for the James Webb. Second favorite was the kitchen countertop. Now PJC, were any scientists actually fooled by the pepperoni? I seriously doubt it. Vincent Florquin, who sent me a DM to say that the pronunciation of his last name is French, which means there's no chance that I could ever say it. But if it's French, that means probably the last consonant sound is ignored. Anyway, I'll say Florquin says, so according to Flurfs, I'm paid to do nothing. Deploying global communication networks, GIS systems, etc. Apparently, they don't ever really give a very good explanation because all of these things work. And if they work, then how are they working? And the people that are deploying them, that are employed to deploy them, they must be fooled or in on it. There's two choices. And if somebody's fooling them, then you need somebody on the other side of the fooling them, feeding them the correct information. Because when you interact with the satellite, you send it a command and it comes back in response to that command. If it doesn't exist, then somebody has to have made it answer you. Or that person's in on it. Which one is it? Kalina's agility partner, who's been a member for 6 months, says, who voted Arwen? Not I, said the fly with the twinkle in his eye. Yes. All right, we're still going. All right, so satellites. So it's even more challenging than that because as a developer, as a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer, they develop and create the actual satellite. They go through years of testing. They develop. It's an involved process, and they have to document this stuff. So when you write software for like a CMMI system, like a satellite is, because you can't do iterative development the same way you can in an agile software development environment where you can deploy tomorrow and redeploy again 2 hours later and redeploy 2 hours after that. You only deploy once. The hardware only gets deployed once. And if you need to make a change to the software, well, that's kind of a big deal because it's not anywhere close. And there's one software only running on the machine. You got to make sure it doesn't break anything. So you have to do all this stuff and you document it well, but it's impossible to document perfectly. So when there's a bug, you don't document bugs. If you knew about the bug, you wouldn't write the bug. So bugs are undocumented, but they happen. So a satellite has a bug and then it needs to be fixed. Did the people fooling on the other side of the curtain, right? You've got the people that they think are compartmentalized on the one side of the curtain, and then you've got the curtain, you got the people faking them on the other side. Are the people on the other side, how did they fake that bug that was not documented? I don't know. Colin Dresser says MC Toon's mom didn't want this. All right. Bugs in space. So yeah, it's things like that the mind of a flurf just cannot comprehend, because none of them are engineers. They've never done any engineering. So how could they even have a concept of engineering? So, all right. Arwen, I'm going to end the poll right there. Arwen wins with 33%. I mean, wins, really, not wins, but there it is. Arwen. And too bad it says 32%. I wanted it to say 33. There it is. I'm gonna send that to Arwen. People, send that to Arwen. Get a screenshot. Send it to Arwen. Whoever wins, we all lose. PJC now will let Arwen know tomorrow. Oh, all right. Real Cygnus says shadow development teams even larger than the dev team being tricked into thinking they're really working on what they think they are. Compartmentalization and shadow dev teams, bro. Absolutely. That's it. There's so many things that are impossible in that description. Even a small software project, you could not fool the developer through compartmentalization if they interact with it. If they never interact with it again, well, then it doesn't matter, right? They say they just fall into the ocean. But somebody built the satellite and somebody is interacting with it after it was launched. If it splashed into the ocean, what are they interacting with? Flatties. What are they interacting with? You don't even know. Oh, we got another potential judge. So let's see. You got Layer of Evil says, I work for a mobile carrier in Europe, and I'm definitely paid.
Wait, no, one more person.
By these deceivers. All right, we need one more judge apparently for the debate that started half an hour ago. Oh, there's a guy. Oh, what was his name? Dan Schulte or something. Who posted on Facebook that he's been a flirt for 12 years. Not a chance. Not a chance. He's not been a flirt for 12 years. He's like, ask questions. I know all the answers. He knew none of the answers. He's like, well, nobody knows this question. Nobody knows this question. Like, you don't actually have any answers, do you? What keeps the sun up in flat Earth? I don't know. What causes the heat and light from the sun? Well, nobody knows. Well, you don't know, Flatty, but people do. People know. I judge that the judges lose. All right. Yes, we got Abdul and Abaka. Abdul Abaka, I think, and Mad Scientist as judges, and then one more. You can see Zion down there. I'm going to say hi to Zion. How you doing, Zion?
All right. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm filling time on my channel, having some.
I see that. I'm watching on the other side because I can't hear anything on this, and everybody's mic's muted.
I'm muting myself on your side there, but all right. So we need one more judge, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Hopefully. What about can we get to Shaka, Queen?
I vote you.
If I do, well, you know. That Tacori's gonna object to that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And I don't want to have to go through a long, arduous voir dire process.
I mean, hey, if you want to do that, I mean, just to get it over it.
All right. Is that unanimous?
I'm for it.
So the prosecution and the defense are in agreement. Okay.
Is it plaintiff and the other one? Maybe. I don't know. Zion, you're training to be a lawyer, is that right?
Yes, I'm a paralegal now. I'm a father's rights advocate. I'm a volunteer for E&L Project. I have a page called the Fraternity of Fathers Legal Rights, where I help people deal with legal information for custody issues. And I am a pre-law student in Syracuse University.
Well, there you go. Now all my people know over here on this side, there's what do we got here? We've got 326 currently watching. So, all right. Well, I'll wait until you guys are all ready.
Yeah, he's getting on the link right now. So
okay,
just give him a few seconds. You have to come through the StreamYard, and we'll get started. We're gonna play a song from the beginning.
We've got,
and then Mad Scientist will be the host, and then we have Abdul as one of the judges. We have Kansu as one of the judges, and I believe, are you a judge, Aaron? Azaya?
Say that again.
Are you a judge?
They said it's okay, but if there's someone else, you know, because I don't want to hear anybody upset. If you know, I don't want, you know, MC Tune.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay,
like I'm being biased.
Hold on, which comes soon? Oh.
Okay. Let brother Kansu judge. I just want to watch.
Nah. I'm not tripping on Zion. But yeah, I'm not tripping on Zion, but I mean, we can go and do this though.
I guess we can just move forward. You know?
Okay, everybody judge fairly. You know, and
you have Kansu as an alternative. You know, they do that in court too.
So who's all the judges?
All right. Let's fly.
Who's all the judges?
We have Abdul,
Don Giovanni,
Zion, and
you would have thought they had this figured out before.
3. I was trying to get a 4th judge. He said he'll come in. He said he'll listen.
Mad Scientist is in here.
Yeah, he's the host.
Oh my gosh!
All right. So we got a wild card.
Get this open here pretty soon.
We could get Mad Scientist if he want to judge. I mean, that's if he
why not?
You want to judge?
No,
these guys are funny.
They're so disorganized. Oh, that's funny.
Mad Scientist?
It's not a joke. These people, they're serious.
I think it should be only 3 anyway. I don't know why it would be 4 judges, but that was
three judges is an odd number.
I think just in case it's even on one side.
It's not
somebody, you know what I'm saying, doesn't have
there might be a couple.
Might you know, think that both parties did good and that don't have because sometimes that happens. Some people be like, I don't even know which way to go. You know what I'm saying, this guy did good, that guy did good, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then if there's any ties, then you have a wild card. You have a alternative judge. You know what I'm saying, to fill that gap.
No, I want him to be the host. He's good at hosting.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. All right.
Yeah. So if it's a problem, then we'll take it to the poll.
Cool. All right.
I want to at least y'all give y'all honest opinion and.
Now, if y'all want to, man, I could be the host, and if it do become a draw, I could be the last vote on it. If y'all want to do it like that,
right.
Oh, okay. So, Mad Scientist, you're judging? I mean, you're hosting?
Yeah. I was saying I could be a host, right? But like, say if it be a draw, if y'all wanted to, I could be like the card breaker if it end up being a draw. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to be the judge. But let's say 2 of y'all say each one, and then one of them say I don't know. Then I guess you can come to me because I'm listening to it too. So, so I guess I would be like a host / judge if I have to. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. All right. So
I mean, but I believe every single judge should say it, and it shouldn't be no damn confusion. It's just either you pick or you could be a judge.
Right. And then, let's get started because we got people already waiting.
Yeah.
What's the rules? And how the rounds will go and everything like that.
Yeah, because
I think they set 2 12-minute rounds, and then rebuttal because Tacori has to go to work at a specific time. So
And MC, he
So
got
we're gonna have to.
another
It's going
debate
to be
after
like
this.
a fire round type thing, I guess. 12-minute rounds. They got two presentations, I believe, between the two of them. That'll be 12 minutes, and then what is it? The rebuttal round. I don't know how much time you're gonna have on the rebuttal. So
Well, Michael said he
keep it
wants
nice and
10.
clean.
Yeah, we said 10. We said 10.
Okay.
10-minute round, and we can even ask the audience to put in a number too if they want to vote too.
All right, let's get ready to rumble.
I think it's gonna happen. So what's going on? We finally are going to begin the 5 o'clock scheduled debate at 5:42. They have a song that they play. It goes forever. So yeah, so they did a prelim. Yeah, and if they do the audio, it gets a little long. I might turn it down or something. Yeah, we did a prelim. It took forever. In the prelim, we agreed a 15-minute round followed by a 10-minute rebuttal round. Tacori didn't quite get that, I think. So we're going to do a 12-minute round with the 10-minute rebuttal and not do 3 of them, just do 2 of them each. So we'll see. All right. There.
I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yeah.
It's the
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Yeah. Got them lions in the building. Yeah. Why you lying?
All right. Whew. All right, I don't know if it's probably copyrighted, so I'm not gonna, oh geez, like I have to have it listening. I have to be listening. Dave Kirshner's, so funny, people. All right, I'll see if they have there's started yet. Let's see, Dave Kirshner said has a super sticker for 99 cents. That's an open face going, ugh. Tones overthinks it for $5. Says the number of people working any day job that would need to know the earth is flat to make the conspiracy work would be over half the world's population. Very true. And then Dave Kirshner has a different super sticker for $149. That's a thing of popcorn. Thank you for that. Digital Demonic Davros, I haven't seen you forever. Says, so if Master gave McDobby a sock, what would that mean? Been a while, but the earth's still ball, bruh. Yeah, oh my gosh. This music. Sorry. Like, I don't want to miss it, but it's so... Greenbell says, this is my first Tuesday night in years, which I sadly won't be able to watch live. Just stopping to say hello and watch the videos later. Well, thank you, Cretan Bull. It has been a while. And who was it? It was Mikey that got so mad at you. And Colin Dresser says, Mick Poon. Was that your pick? Not Mick Poon. Joe Black. It's a good thing this was all sorted out beforehand. Otherwise, it would have taken ages. No kidding. All right. Well, they are not. I just gotta say, they're not flirfs. They are. Some are, but it's a mostly religious group, which means that there's some flirfs in it because they're like hyper religious on some aspects. So, anyway, so B, yeah, the intro's still going. B, if you do find their live chat, please be respectful. I don't want them coming back saying, crap about you guys, about me and all that. Just, stay here if they pop over here, whatever. Otherwise, if you're over on theirs, have fun. There was a guy in the prelim that claimed he was an engineer. I'm like, oh, what university did you go to? Oh, I didn't go to one. I'm just an engineer. Oh, so you're not actually an engineer. So, anyway. Yeah, it's a full song. I mean, it's still going. They did this on the prelim too. So, okay, the thing is fading out. There we go. It's going.
Yeah, peace. Welcome to the Lions Den. You know, this the mad scientist. We got some special people here on the platform. Of course, we could go to the backbone. Before anything, let her tell you where you can find her at. Tell her people where they can find you at and who you are, Karima.
You can find me in the Lions Den as always, and I'm Bingo. But yeah, I'm here for a good debate. And shalom to everybody that's watching and on the panel.
Okay. Next we gonna go to Abdul. Abdul, let the people know where they can find you at on social media and all the platforms.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. This is Abdul Baraka, and you can find me on Facebook. That's the only place I'll be at. And I'm just here for this good debate. The Lions Den be throwing down, y'all. So I'm here. That's it.
Okay. We gonna go next to the Smushinator, the Intercontinental. Tell them where they can find you at, brother.
Yeah, you know who it is? It's the most hated, the most underrated, the most underdebated, the Smusher heads, the Smushinator. Yo, Smusher, man, baby. You know where you can find me? You can find me right here on Lions Den. You know what I'm saying? If y'all interested, y'all can also check me out on First Class, a Second Class Parent, Father's Rights, the Fraternity of Fathers Legal Rights. If you're interested in some legal custody information, that's what I do. And I'm here to look forward to this. Being a judge, I must be impartial, so I will be basing my ruling based upon the persuasive argument and the presentation. I'm leaving my opinion aside, and I'm focusing on how these two argue and who is more persuasive in their argumentation. So with that said, moving on.
Segment DG. The topic is flat Earth versus global Earth. We will go to the True Nawapian right here, but I've been watching for a while. You know what I'm saying? Known for a couple of years. I've been seeing him for a couple of years, doing this thing. Consul, let them know where they can find you at, brother.
Unmute your mic.
Okay,
You got your mic muted. Okay.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Peace to the Lions Den, man. Peace to MC Tune TV. Peace to everybody on the panel. Shout out to JJ7000. Shout out to Sister Karima. Shout out to Brother Zion, who was actually another judge here, who was one of my previous opponents, one of my previous debate opponents. So it's good to see him. Good to see everybody on the panel. I'm definitely excited about this. I have a lot of knowledge about the flat Earth versus global Earth theory or whatnot. Me in particular, I'm more into African, ancient Egyptian studies, so I kind of base my stuff off of that and modern science, that which can be verified with the ancient sciences. But it's a real good topic. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad I can make it to help judge. Big shout out to the Lions Den. You can find me at Brother Consul and Yame Ray on Facebook. You can find me at Consul Amun Min Ray, and you can find me at Brother Consul on YouTube, and you can find me also at Lightning from the East, which is the official biography of Malachi York, and you can find me at the universalyorubanation.com. Peace.
Okay. Now we're gonna go into the two debaters. First we're gonna go into Tacori. I believe he don't had a couple things under his belt right now talking about this subject. So these two brothers, I'm gonna say, got a lot of knowledge behind them, and they've been doing that for a while in these debates. And I'm glad that they got together and decided to debate on this on Lions Den. But we could go to Tacori. Let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me on. Let me clear my throat. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me teaching and preaching out in these streets. You can find me representing the H-Town, the Hebrew Israelite community. You can find me representing over there. My Facebook page is Tacori Dawson. I'm still trying to get my YouTube page up. So, yeah, I'm ready for this debate.
Okay, we go to the last debater. We got MC2 and Michael. I just want to say this. I'm glad you on here, and I'm glad we breaking the bridge, man, of just having, I don't want to make it a racial thing, but just that we having different races and stuff that's coming together and talking about subjects, you know what I mean, that people can learn from. And that's what I like. We breaking these bridges, and I'm glad you on here, brother. So tell them where they can find you at.
Yeah, I'm MC Toon. You can call me Mike or Toon, either way. You can find me on Facebook or mostly on YouTube. Just search for MCTOON. That's it.
Okay. We about to get into the discussion, the presentation. Who's supposed to go first? We have two 10-minute rounds and 5-round, right?
A 12-minute and a 10-minute.
Okay, 12-minute to 10-minute round. Okay, and who is going to go first on the with their presentation?
You want to go first, Mike, or you want me?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I gotta go first. Let me get my screen up. Hold on real quick. Let me see something. Let me go and get to my screen. Let me go and share real quick. All right, bet. Okay. Okay, let me get my screen share.
It just goes and goes and goes with the comedy of errors. Oh. All right, hopefully. Yes.
Can y'all see my screen?
They've annihilated me in the intro contest.
You can start the time.
Okay, so your times, we doing the 12 now or the 10?
12.
It's still not.
Okay, so your time starts now.
Okay, I don't want no interruptions. Okay, so now I'm gonna defeat this notion of flat Earth versus round Earth. I'm on the stance that the Earth
on
is
their
flat.
stream. They can't hear me. So.
And I know that's a fact. And not only do I know that's a fact, there's scientific methods and empirical evidence and scientific observations to be able to prove this point and this concept. So now we're going to come and we're going to defeat this notion of gravity, because gravity is pretty much the heart of the heliocentric model. If you take out the heart, then that means that nothing else live after that. So I'm going to take out the heart first, and then I'm going to stick to my presentation of proving that the Earth is flat. And this is my stance. So now when we're dealing with the concept of science, we're talking about the concepts of how things work. We're talking about the scientific study of nature and physical reality using scientific methods, observations, and empirical evidence that can be repeated over and over again. So, explanation of gravity. Gravity is supposed to be a force. According to Newton's second law, a force acting on objects will cause it to accelerate. Force equals mass times acceleration. Acceleration is a rate of change or velocity if it's working with vectors. Speed and measurement is meters over second. So a rate of change of speed is measured meters per second over second, or meters per second square. An object dropped near Earth's surface accelerate downwards about 9.8 meters per second over second square. Due to the force of gravity, regardless of size, if air resistance is minimal. So pretty much, this is pretty much talking about anything that falls up, an object that pretty much falls, it falls at 9.8 meters per second every second. So every second an object falls, it falls 9.8 meters. It takes the term Mississippi. It take you 1 second to say term Mississippi, which is a 4-syllable word, which means each syllable has a 0.25 second concept to it. So now, as you can see on the right side right here, you can see force equals mass times acceleration. Object remains, the rest becomes because the forces acting on it are balanced, not because there are no forces acting upon it. The downward force of gravity is balanced by an upward force of the table. So now, Let's continue. Breaking down the concept of 9.8 meters per second. Gravity has a downward force acceleration of 9.8 meters per second square. Or you can say 9.8 meters per second every second, meaning every second an object falls is supposed to accelerate 9.8 meters every second. For example, for the first second, an object will fall at 9.8 meters. 2 seconds equals 19.6 meters. 3 seconds, 29.2 meters. 4 seconds, 39.4 meters. Keep in mind when converting distances, 1 meter equals 3.28 feet. Or so 9.8 meters times 3.28 would give you 32 feet per second. I meant to put feet per second. So the object's supposed to fall 32 feet every second. I would like to see you prove that, MC Tune, because I could drop a bottle cap right now and I'm 5 feet 10 and it'll take a second for it to hit the ground. So now let's continue. What is the difference between acceleration and constant motion? So when we're talking about an acceleration is a change of force. An acceleration is not always consistent. It increases speed every time. As you can see, these are prime examples. Here's a uniform motion and here's a uniform acceleration. A uniform motion has a constant motion of 10 meters per second in this example. Then you got 10 meters per second in a uniform acceleration, then 20 meters per second, then 30 meters per second, which means that acceleration ain't always consistent. As you can see right here in this other example, somebody jogs 5 seconds, 5 meters per second. And then you can see on another side where the woman began to start running even faster. This is called acceleration, because acceleration is not a constant speed. Keep in mind that acceleration is increasing of speed of objects. So if the downward force of gravity is real, then why is there a specific amount of distance and an object falls every second? That's just like me saying I make $15 an hour. I know exactly how much I make because my rate is consistent. The concept of $15 is the amount of money I know I make every hour, and an hour is the time stamp of every time of the time it takes for me to make $15 an hour. So when we're talking about 9.8 meters, we're talking about a constant movement or velocity or speed that an object falls at a downward force. Let's continue. I don't know if this video gonna work.
He has no idea what he's saying.
But I want y'all to see that objects do not fall at the same speed. But MC Toon said objects fall at the very same speed.
No. They accelerate. He doesn't even know what acceleration is. Oh,
let me go and skip this.
I don't see their stream up.
Yeah, we're talking about a concept of falling bodies.
They also never understand that wind resistance exists.
Okay, here's when things begin to fall.
Yeah.
Now check this video out. Everything do not fall the same speed.
Yes, wind resistance. All right. So I mean, we went over this in the prelim, and he didn't even understand it then. What is wrong with him? All right, I see it. Thank you. Let's see if I can.
See, objects don't fall at the same speed. As y'all can see right there, objects don't fall at the same speed. So that lets you know right there that an object don't fall at the same speed, as we can see right there.
Say it 4 times.
When we're dealing with the concept of speed, right?
Say it again.
When we're dealing with the concept of objects falling, objects fall due to the fact that the faster object fall is due to the amount of mass that it has and the air resistance that it has. The faster object it falls, the heavier object fall is due to the fact that it's heavier than the surrounding medium that it's in, and it has more air resistance. The more resistance an object have, the more it'll be able to fall, because the more mass you have, the more resistance that you have. So, as you can see right here, let's talk about the gravitational pull of the Earth. from the moon to the earth. Now, as y'all can see right here,
5 minutes remaining.
as y'all can see right here, the earth right here, the pull of the earth. You can see the oceans. They'll tell you high tides is, gravity is the earth. The moon's gravity is the reason for high tides. Well, what you got to say about the high tides on the other side of the earth, opposite side from the moon? Remember, gravity is supposed to be an attractive force. So why is gravity pushing the ocean tides on the other side of the moon on one side of the earth? On the other side of the earth. Look at this. The gravitational attraction, which means a force that pulls objects to each other, the mass of the earth, the moon, or the planet for the bodies near the earth's surface. A fundamental physical force that is responsible for interacting with which occur because of mass between particles, between aggregations of matter such as stars, planets, and between particles such as protons, the aggregation of matter that is 10 minus 39 to the power square times the strength of the strong force. So if gravity is pulling the ocean tides, then how is it pulling the ocean tides to the other side of the earth? It wouldn't be able to do that. In order for moon's gravity to be pulling the ocean tides on the other side of the earth, there wouldn't be no high tide there. There will be a vortex in the earth because it's pulling the ocean towards the moon. So that's how we know that that's not what we talk about. So let's get off gravity and let's start proving flat earth. Why does the sun reflect off the ocean? These are two reasons behind this. First, when it comes to reflecting sunlight, seawater acts as smooth surfaces on the microscopic scale, a ripple, but locally smooth. Surface will reflect the sun at different angles, creating different observable images of the sun. And as y'all can see right here, these are different type of experiments that you can do at the house. One thing we know that the earth is flat and not a curve or not a ball is simply due to the fact when you pay attention to our sun at the beach, you will see that light reflects and travel. The light needs smooth surfaces to be able to travel more. If there's an interrupting surface like a curve, then then the light would not even travel like that. These are different prime examples, as you can see right here. Here's a diagram right here, and this is what is going to show you how the light actually reflect. As you see right here, the light will reflect up on the curve, but it won't do as much as on a flat earth. So now let's talk about why things converge at a horizon. Near the point of convergence, distance is the distance from the near point of the convergence of the midpoint of the line connecting the surface of rotation, the center of rotation of the eye. Here's the science of the eye right here.
2 minutes remaining.
And here's the thing right here. So when we're dealing with the concept of the eye, why do we have convergent points? Because flat earthers say that things go over horizon due to convergent points and vanishing points. Light rays converge at the point before reaching the retina, and therefore are out of the focus of the retina. Here's the definition of vanishing points: a point at which recede the parallel lines to meet when perspective represented in linear perspective. Now let's continue. Here are examples of vanishing points. You can see the horizon lines and you can see the point of singularity. As y'all can see right here, we have a point of singularity due to the fact that our eyes are spherical. It's not the fact that there's a curve down there, but it's because your eyes are simply just spherical. That's just point blank, period. So here's the thing. So now when we're talking about diffraction on the flat earth, the process by which a beam of light or other systems of waves is spreading as the result of passing through a narrow aperture or across the edge, typically accompanied by interference between the waves form produced. And as y'all can see, these are different type of prime examples right here of how diffraction happens. And as y'all can see right here, here's the sun diffracting. Now, here's a scientific experiment that y'all can actually do at the house, or you can even do it at your job. And this is the sun, how it mimics, this is mimicking the sunset on the flat surface.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Good time for all. There's Zachary Zabala here. We're going to do a...
What is this?
All right, folks. This is really neat. You got to check this out. The light is all the way on the ground. As you saw, I laid it down. I'd really like to be able to measure the exact distances and the angles, like precisely to see when all this stuff starts.
Well, yeah, you
Here you'll
should.
get the mirroring effect at this distance. It's really neat because when you focus in on just a light ball,
Time.
black.
This time?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that was a fire round right there. Tacori brought the information. I hope y'all listening. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all listening and learning
Yeah,
because
let me
that's what
get off
this
my
about.
screen real quick.
Building. Yeah, it's about building, teaching, and really have a discussion. So, Michael, I know you about to come with some, so let's get it.
JJ,
You got,
introduce yourself.
you got 12 minutes, right? Yeah, you got 12 minutes.
Yeah, let JJ introduce himself real quick.
Okay. JJ, you got the man, the creator of the Lions Den. Introduce yourself, brother, and let the people know where they can find you at. JJ.
You might have stepped away.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right, let's move forward then.
All right. Um, you can go ahead, Michael, with your 12.
I thought this was the rebuttal round to what he just said.
Rebuttal? Oh, we got rebuttal? Okay. All right. All right. I like that. This is rebuttal round, then.
All right. Well, it seems that you can start whenever you're ready. Start the timer. It seems that Tacori doesn't understand, or is trying to refute that things accelerate downward at 9.8 meters per second squared. I've never heard a flat earther try to claim that that doesn't actually happen. It does happen. It's pretty easy to confirm. It seems that he thinks that wind resistance doesn't exist, and that's why those two different basketballs fell at different rates. Wind resistance is in a force that acts simultaneously to an object as gravity does. I find that very strange because typically the position of flat earthers is that gravity is being mass attracting mass. They don't try to say that there is no downward acceleration. They say that the cause of the downward acceleration is not mass attracting mass. But that is easy to confirm. Here is an experiment done by a guy named B.M. Furball. He was in Korea. He had two-bedroom apartment, and his family wasn't there, so he set up this experiment in the other bedroom there. You see that light at the bottom there? That's a laser pointing at a reflector that is on a string, and that bar across the bottom there with those two round balls is suspended by that string, or it's a torsion wire actually. And that laser, when that torsion wire twists, because the large 40-pound masses on either side there pull the lead balls towards them, we see that mass does attract mass. And if we forward this a little bit, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. You see what happens there. It pulls it. It actually causes it to twist. So this is an easy confirmation that mass does attract mass because it's held by a torsion wire. So the gravity of the Earth has been controlled, so it's not a part of the experiment. So, Tacori, if you don't believe that wind resistance it can act at the same time, then that's a pretty tough thing there, buddy. You said that you did take physics. If you took physics, then you should have this understood pretty well. So, all right, I'll pause that. He said that, let's see, he talked about light reflecting off the surface of the water. Here's a demonstration of that. This mirror that you see there is curved, and the guy is sprinkling some, it's actually glitter on it to emulate the surface of the waves of the water on the ocean, because, of course, the water in the ocean is typically got some little waves on it. All right, so let's see, get on with it here. And it's hard to see, but that mirror is curved, significantly more curved than the surface of the water. And you see a light down there, and you do see indeed that there is a line of the light going across the surface there from that one light. So that we do not expect on the surface of water to see just a pinpoint from the sun reflecting. So, all right. He talked about perspective. He claimed that this was how the eyeball works. That's not how the eyeball works. That's how perspective works. In fact, you can do the same thing with a camera obscura, which is just a pinhole camera. It has no lens, and you can get the same types of pictures with a camera that has no lens. The eyeball shape doesn't have anything to do with it, neither does the shape of the camera. And then finally, and then I'll stop sharing this particular one. What is it? Stop screen there. All right. So then the final thing I think that he talked about was tides. He said, why is there the tide on the opposite side of the Earth? That's because the moon's gravity is a part of it, but it's not it's not just the water being attracted to the moon. It's actually that the Earth doesn't orbit, the moon and the Earth don't orbit how he thinks it does. The Earth and moon each orbit the barycenter of the Earth-Moon system. The barycenter of the Earth-Moon system is within the Earth. It's slightly offset from the actual center of the Earth. But the Earth, as the moon orbits around it, has a slight wobble to it due to the moon. And that is what causes tides. And that's why the tides are on the opposite side of the moon as on the same side of the moon. Because of that wobble.
Karima, you sure that was 12 minutes?
Yeah, that was kind of short, but maybe.
Not a 12-minute.
Yeah, that's a rebuttal. That's a rebuttal.
Oh, that's a rebuttal. Okay, so now he about to do a 12.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that was Michael rebuttal for Tacori. So Michael is about to do his 12 presentation, and then Corey is going to have his rebuttal.
Yes.
So let's get it.
All right, you can start at any time. I'm going to start by deriving perspective. Anytime a flat earther says perspective, there seems to be some magical connotation. It's not actually that complicated to do. You're introduced to the concepts in 8th grade geometry, and then by the time you've gotten to 10th and 11th grade, you've covered the necessary trigonometry and algebra to do it yourself. So I just have a simple thing here, deriving the formula for angular size. You'd create a right triangle, you do some trigonometry, and I'm going to jump down here. This entire thing is on my website at mctoon.net/deriving perspective. In the end, this gives us the formula there you see in the upper right here, tangent theta equals g/2 over r. And we'll get to the final formula there, theta. So as something gets farther away, we know, if we know its size and how far away it is, we know what angular size it will appear in your view. That's theta. So theta equals the arctangent of g/2 all over r, or you can say g/2r. So Tacori, if you ever say perspective, I will expect, because you said that you did pretty good at physics and that you've done all your math, that you will use the perspective formula here when you talk about perspective. Now, we can use perspective to do things like calculate the dip of the horizon for flat Earth. So here is a similar thing. I generated this just for today. If we have our little Batman there and he's looking across flat Earth, he has a certain height, he has a certain distance from the edge of the disc or whatever. If you have a different map, then feel free to send it. I'll update this presentation for it. But there is an edge, some large distance away for flat Earth of what you can see. If some flat earthers say that it keeps going, that doesn't actually help you, but that's fine. We can adjust for that. We can do a little bit of trigonometry. We can see that theta equals arctangent of h/d. That's just using sine, cosine, tangent, arctangent there, right? You can see this on my website also at Horizon Dip for Flat Earth. So there is the formula that I derived based on the previous formula that I have there. So here's our formula. And then I'm going to do an example. Let's say you're at 45 degrees north latitude and you're looking due south, right? That's the closest to the edge is due south when you're at 45 degrees north latitude. Well, you are 46 degrees plus 90 degrees latitude from the ice wall or the edge or whatever, whatever you want to think is on flat Earth. That is 9,384 miles. That's the closest. And say you're in an airplane at 11,000 meters, which is 6.8 miles. Well, we can form a triangle with that, and we can solve that triangle. And we can get the angular dip for flat Earth as 0.0417. That's without refraction. Refraction causes distant objects to appear slightly higher. So the lowest, the smallest, the most dip that you could expect for flat Earth is 0.0417 degrees, a very, very small dip. That's why Samuel Rowbotham and Eric Dubé say that the horizon must always rise to eye level if the Earth is flat. So then we can test that. Does the horizon rise to eye level? Well, here is a photograph taken with a device that measures angles. And you can see that it dipped 3.3 degrees. Which is a little bit more than 0.417 degrees. Flat Earth did not quite cut it there. So what is the formula for dip for the globe? Well, we can do the same thing. It's a little more complicated. We need to do R over R plus H. We can use the Taylor expansion to get an approximation. And you can look this up here. Notes on the dip of the horizon. This is from a celestial navigation thing. I actually wrote a program in Python to do all the calculations for us. Height of the observer, 11,074 feet. It's the same measurement. This does take into account refraction and non-refraction. So there's going to be two answers in there. Now you don't need to look at this program. You can, I'm happy to send it to you. It is freely available. So Earth radius, I put in the radius of the Earth there. Adjusted for refraction, that's how you do the refraction analysis, is you dynamically adjust the radius of the Earth in your calculations. So the dip of the horizon without any refraction would be 3.37 degrees. And with refraction, approximating 3.12 degrees. And what did we find? Well, we found that the dip of the horizon was 3.3 degrees, exactly what the globe predicts. That's not the only time that I've tested this. This one I personally tested myself, that's on the screen. And I have a collection of different people that have done the exact same thing in airplanes. I also have a surveyor, a licensed geodetic surveyor that did it himself. And he measured the dip of the horizon with his theodolite. That's accurate to 1/3600th of a degree. You can see right there, the horizon did not rise to eye level. In either face of the telescope, he dipped it down, and he did get a measured dip. When you calculate that, you find that it matches the globe prediction. It does not match flat Earth. And then finally, here is from an airplane, because Tacori was wondering about an airplane. You see that line across the center there. That is eye level. You can see that the horizon did not rise to eye level. You could even see a little curve to the horizon there. So very nice. That's from Wolfie 6020 on an airplane that's somewhere probably more than 40,000 feet in elevation, which is high enough to see a little bit of the curve. And with that, well, note the curve of that horizon. So that is it. Thank you very much.
You still have 5 minutes remaining. You
Still got 5 minutes left.
I'm
5
good.
minutes and
Yeah,
60
use it up.
You want me to use it?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, please.
But
Yeah, just go over the information you just showed.
Yeah, so we have, I see in the chat, we have people saying that the horizon does not rise to eye level, they claim. Well, let me share this again.
Don't worry about the chat just yet. Just stick to your
we'll
information.
get to that.
Yeah.
All right.
You got any more,
So-
things just add to your last 5 minutes.
All right. So there it is again. The horizon did not rise to eye level, and the horizon is curved. And I'll show you there's many more measurements. So let's see here. Do I have the horizon? Let's see, from New Zealand. A friend of mine did a collection from New Zealand. No, I don't have that on here, but I'll show you this one. The navigational Celestial Navigation Almanac from England. Here you can see that table on the left side is the actual, this is from the 1700s. That is the dip of the horizon documented in the 1700s. So if anybody's like, hell, well, it was nobody taught the globe before a certain time ago. No, the Nautical Almanac in the 1700s included the dip of the horizon. So I'll go over this one a little bit more from the Jeff, the main surveyor. You can see here on this table here, he put in, he measured the actual dip 20 different times. What he does is he angles his, it's loading here, there you go. He aims his theodolite at the horizon, and then he flips the telescope around the other direction. So you see at the top there, 90 degrees, 7 minutes, 25 seconds, and then 269 degrees, 52 minutes, 9 seconds. So if there's any error in the telescope, reading too high or too low, when you flip it the other direction, it neutralizes it. So when you add those two together and take the average, you get the measurement without error introduced by the telescope. So he did that 20 times total, and he measured the dip of the horizon at his elevation to be 7 arc minutes, 39 arc seconds. And his elevation was 20, just under 22 meters. And he even gives the coordinates where he did it. So if anybody doubts him, they can go repeat it themselves. So, all right. I'm good.
How much minutes we got left, Kareem?
He got 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
Man, I went fast. I don't know. What else do you want? That's my topic.
Do you have any more historical record? Do you have anything more historical like that 1700 document?
Do I have? Yeah. Well, Al-Biruni did the same measurement. He's is an Islamic mathematician, and I don't have it anymore. So Al-Biruni did the same thing. He measured the dip of the horizon from the top of a mountain. The fact that the horizon dips at all doesn't work on flat Earth, as I went over the math already. It cannot work. It must be very, very small. So from an airplane, a very high height, looking all the way to the nearest edge of the flat Earth would be 0.04 degrees dip. And that's basically nothing. Yet we don't see that. We see the horizon drops with eye level. As you increase in elevation, it always drops, and it's always measured to drop. So people will say the horizon doesn't rise, or they'll say the horizon does rise, but they never show measurements of it. So if anybody's going to make that claim, I would expect measurements to be included with that claim.
Okay, you should be close to the. You probably got a couple seconds left.
Yeah, 49 seconds. Yes,
that's good. We can let Tacori show his measurements.
Okay, that was Michael's presentation. Both of these are brothers of fire. You can tell they putting a lot of work in their research. So we gonna let Tacori. This is rebuttal on round. So let's go.
Okay, first of all, he didn't think he act like I ain't catch what he did try to do with that little reflection thing with the light on the silver thing. Now I'm gonna go back to the experiment that I showed y'all, and I'm gonna show y'all how biased he was. Now I'm gonna go and share my screen, and I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint. And by the way, in the Q&A, you're gonna break those math problems down too, instead of just giving them to people. You're gonna break them straight down. All right. Let me get to it. Now, this is what he was trying to talk about, or this is what he was trying to debunk. Right here. Now, I want y'all to see how biased he was. He took the picture, the dude on the video, he took the picture of the lights being on this side of the darn table with a little small pin on there, which pretty much showed that it was still pretty much a little bit flat. But why didn't you show it at the edge right here? You only showed it at the other side, and that's not debunking my claim. That's not debunking my experiment. You had to put it the light exactly where this light is on here. So now, let's continue. So he also made a claim talking about my job here is to show you that there's not a such thing as objects falling at 9.8 meters per second square constantly. You still ain't showed that. You said you was gonna bring power, you said you was gonna bring scientific methods. You said you was gonna calculate this distance. You ain't calculated, you just gave us the equation and expected us to just go with the equation. You never even broke it down.
He didn't
So
calculate anything.
let's show y'all something, because he completely misrepresented my argument. I didn't say anything about masses not attracting to each other. It's called magnetism. So I know objects attract to each other. What I'm saying is this right here.
Oh, I love when they think that gravity is magnetism.
This doesn't exist. Objects falling constantly at 9.8 meters per second does not exist. All objects don't fall like that. And I just showed you objects falling and a heavier objects fell first. So nice straw man, but it ain't gonna work. So let's continue. Let's talk about seasons. Now on the seasons and eclipses.
This is the rebuttal, dummy.
See, globe earthers said that flat earthers ain't got seasons. As you can see right here, here's the summer solstice. This is the Tropic of Cancer. And then you got the Tropic of Capricorn, which is the wintertime right here. So when we're talking about the seasons, the reason that it gets hot in the summertime in the northern hemisphere and cold in the wintertime in the southern hemisphere is because the sun is over our heads. This is just simple. If I take a heater and I put it over your head, you're going to be hot. But if I take that heater away from you, you're no longer going to be hot. And this is how we deal, and this is how our seasons work.
Some people are hot.
Now,
even
I'm going to play this video real quick.
Am I right, Dora?
Hopefully this video can play. This is how our seasons work. For the people who think we ain't got seasons. Now pay attention to the sun, how it's way in the southern hemisphere.
The sun would never set.
And then it's going to go into the northern hemisphere, which represents the summertime. The equator on the globe, on the flat earth, as you can see the red line right here. The equator on the flat earth is going to represent the fall and the spring equinox, as you can see right here. Here's our seasons right here. Let me fast forward this a little bit because it's going to take a while for that thing to go. Now, as y'all can see right here, and not only just that, you just saw an eclipse on this model. So not only did this model show an eclipse, but this model also showing seasons, and not only just that, but here's another model right here showing days and night.
It's just so dumb.
Days and night right here. So now watch this. Because this gonna be in the nail in the coffin for this boy right here. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all something. Now, as y'all can see right here, the moon and the sun is in the sky at the same time. This is the daytime. This is the nighttime. When I say, for instance, I'm in Mexico right here. When I go out and when I go outside and I take a drink of my little Kool-Aid and I look up, I see that moon right there. And then I see the sun on the other side of me, just like Family Feud, just like a game of Family Feud with two different with each other. That's 12 minutes?
No,
that was your rebuttal.
Oh, so that's it now?
No, you go with your 10 minutes now.
Okay. Right. All right, so now here's the sun and the moon in the sky.
Hold on, let me get the time ready.
You got it?
Yep, you can start. Start right now.
Okay, now here's the sun and the moon. This daytime, and you see the sun and the moon right here. You cannot get this on no globe earth model. Watch this right here. This is very simple.
We got everyone's favorite thing.
There go the sun.
Over here.
And the moon over there.
Why is that
there
a problem?
go right there. The moon in the
Why does he think
daytime
that's a
sky.
problem?
As he looked on each side, that's where it was. And that's what we just seen on this model right here of the flat earth. We seen the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. As you can see right here, we gonna do this again so everybody can see. There it go right there.
It's like
sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. Dude looked on each side of him, and the moon and the sun was right there.
And
that's a nail in the
somehow
coffin.
they think they're
now
right
let's
because they're
debunk their
stupid.
seasons, because I'ma just debunk their seasons by destroying the crepuscular rays lighting up half the earth. Now,
I knew it.
As you see, this is the globe earth seasons right here, as y'all can see. Due to the tilt of the earth is the reason why the sun, why they get their seasons. But little do they know is that the crepuscular rays also plays an important, little do Michael know that crepuscular rays also play a key role in getting your seasons. So Michael, can you explain to me why you can see half the earth, how the heck is half the earth lit up, but yet you see sunspots on one part of the earth? Now tell me how much sense that makes. Now look at this right here. The sun rays will be touching the North Pole and the South Pole. But in reality told Michael, stop lying.
Gosh, how dumb.
I'm shining one sunspot, a small sunspot in the ocean. So now let's continue. If sun rays light up half the earth from the North Pole to the South Pole, we shouldn't see sun rays only in part of the ocean. Come on, Michael, let's make this make sense. Come on now, let's continue.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm going to debunk this movement of the earth and the motion of the earth, dealing with aerodynamics to debunk the movement of the earth. We know that aerodynamics deal mainly with planes breaking down the concept of aero and dynamics, meaning air in motion. The faster an object moves, the more wind it is produced from the object. Air resistance takes place between the air that surrounds an object, the surface of a falling object. So the reason, as an object begins to move faster, air resistance or drag increases. Drag means the amount of air resistance impacting an object when it is moving. Drag occurs when air pulls on moving objects. And when the air is denser, this shows down the movement of the object because the object has to shove aside heavier molecules. Now watch this. Here's a fan right here, Michael. You had one of these before. The faster this fan moves, the more air it produces.
Oh my God.
Due to the fact that the moon is moving, the fan is moving fast. Here's the prime example of objects producing wind by increasing its motion. Planes. The reason why you flying in that air and you can't open that door because you're going to get flinged off that thing is simply due to the fact that air is strong, due to the fact that the motion of the plane is at high levels or high altitude. Now watch this. Watch this. Let me go to the slideshow part. Let me go to the slideshow part. Here we go right here.
Now he already finished his rebuttal.
Now the Earth's supposed to spin at 1,000 miles per hour while revolving at 67,000 miles an hour. So remember, the faster an object moves, the more wind it is produced. So if a Category 5 hurricane moves at 200 miles per hour or 340 times slower than the Earth's speed, the wind produced from the Earth will be around 340 times stronger than a Category 5 storm. How we gonna withstand some wind strength like that? Watch this. Now, Michael's favorite government agencies know what's up. They are different from Michael's Kings.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Government amidst flat earth.
Oh, Tim, thank you.
You know, when you take somebody's concept and you prove your stuff with their concept, that's a nail in the coffin. Deviation and definition of aircraft models. And watch this. And you can see right here, here's Michael with his little NASA shirt on because he loved NASA. Little do he know that they got declassified documents that we wasn't supposed to see decades ago. This report documents deviation and definition of an aircraft model on a rigid aircraft, a custom mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Let's continue. This report details the development of linear models of a rigid aircraft constant flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. That's in the introduction and that's in the summary. Let's continue. Army Research Laboratory, an energy budget model to calculate the low atmosphere profiles of effective sound and speed at night by Arnold Tunick. This is in the Army. I don't know. Now, as you can see right here, the radiation and energy budget close to the ground. As you can see right here, this is a close sun. This is a close sun right here, Michael Toon. This shows a local sun, and you see a flat surface.
It's a not to scale diagram.
So while you talking about calculations and stuff, your NASA that you love so much got the most calculations. Watch this. Now this is in page 13. The approximate short range acoustic attenuation To briefly examine short-range acoustic annotations.
Spit it out.
At night, we use low temperature profiles of wind speed, temperatures, and relative humidity shown before as input to a flat Earth, non-turbulent, which means it doesn't move.
No,
a flat
non-turbulent
Earth
means there's
that
no
doesn't
wind.
move. These are from your top agencies. Aircraft models for the AIAA Controlled Design Challenge by Randall W. Broomberg from NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Station.
And Space Station.
Michael, equations of motions in atmospheric model. The nonlinear equations of motions used in this model are general 6-degree freedom equations representing the flight dynamics of a rigged aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. There we go again. And look at these equations. Michael, can you break this down since you went to college for 4 years? I don't think you can. I know you can't. You just give everybody equations and they look nice, but when somebody asks you to break these equations down and get the complete measurement to see if it's actually right, you ain't done none of that, which I want to know why. Now, tactic, techniques, and procedures for a field artillery manual cannon gunnery. Watch this. Concept discussed in a document. This is an azimuthal map right here of a flat, non-rotating Earth. And you can see right here, the sun right there. This is from your stuff. This is from your NASA right here. Why you out here trying to tell everybody that the Earth is a globe? But the same people that gave you the globe is the same people that's behind closed doors making all these plans and different weapons and projectiles off of flat Earth. The sun is local, not 93 million miles away. How can you see the sun below eye level if the sun is 93 million miles above your head? And how do you see the sun in the clouds? This was taken by a pilot. I can give you the video right now. This was taken by a pilot. Under the sun. So if the Earth is if the sun is 93 million miles away from us, is the clouds 93 million miles away from us too? I don't know. Now here's your stuff. The moon is also 93 million miles. The moon is also in our atmosphere, thanks to Michael Toon proving this to us, showing that this line right here, that he also admitted that this was represented as the eye level. And then you see the moon right there is right below eye level. If the moon is 250,000 miles up, then how we can see it below eye level from a 35,000 10 mile altitude? Feet altitude, not miles, feet altitude. So how you looking down at something that's 250,000 miles above your head? What type of perception is that we have to look down at a moon that is way above our heads? The only reason that can happen if you took a picture of the plane under your feet. And this is the clouds that he was talking about, that he tried to lie and say that was a horizon. That ain't no horizon, bro. Those are clouds, bro. You can't see the horizon through clouds, bro. These are thick clouds, and I can tell.
It doesn't help you.
Let's continue. He want to talk about curvature, but this is from the X-15 hypersonic, and this what a globe earther came up with. And I just took this and disproved him with this, because he said we can detect curvature every 35,000 miles like MC2 claim, but yet this X-15 that was taken in 1950 something, this X-15 hypersonic project, one of the highest moving planes or jets, it rises up to 60 miles up in the air, and it is still flat as a pancake. I'm done.
Okay, yeah, that was the Tacori. So what we doing now? Another rebuttal by Michael.
Yeah, the rebuttal. Michael's rebuttal. So that was Tacori did his second round. Then he has a rebuttal, and I think then Toon has his last round.
Okay.
All right,
Michael. This is Michael's last round. 10 minutes. Oh no, this is a rebuttal.
No, this is the rebuttal.
Yeah, this is the rebuttal. So Michael can doing his rebuttal right now for Tacori presentation that just came up. Let's get it.
All right. Well, I love when they like to bring up the government documents that were not classified, I don't know why you'd think they were classified, but here is that one. That first one you talked about, the derivation of a linear aircraft model. So you read it. You said rigid. You didn't. It's rigid. Rigid aircraft. Now, Tacori, do you actually think that aircraft are rigid? They are not, in fact, rigid. They flex. Do you think that they are constant mass? They are not. They use fuel. Do you think that they fly in a stationary atmosphere? That means no wind. You said turbulence, and you said you thought that turbulence meant that it didn't move. Actually, turbulence means no wind also over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Well, this whole list of things here, there's 5 things here. Rigid, constant mass, no wind, flat, non-rotating. 3 of them you don't think are true, but you think that somehow NASA is admitting that the other 2 are true. Well, no. This is called a simplification. When you do engineering, which you don't do, Tacori, I know that. When you do engineering, you cannot take everything into account. It is too complicated to take everything into account. So when you list this off in the details of the document, you are telling the people that are reading it that they will need to take these things into account themselves. If the Earth were not rotating, they would not need to mention it at all. But they're specifically telling the other engineers that are the consumers of this document that they need to take it into account because it wasn't included in this particular one. The picture of the X-15, very nice picture. I mean, I'm kidding. It was a crap picture. How wide was the field of view? I'll get into that in a little bit. Now, you talked about seasons, and you wanted me to show some calculations, but you never showed any calculations yourself. Well, I'll tell you what, I did a little bit of calculating for Flat Earth. This is the map that you showed right here. And here is, talking of seasons, this is the December solstice, which would be summer in the southern hemisphere. And you see that little X there at the bottom. It might be obscured it's obscured for my people. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. There we go. Nope, that didn't fix it. Anyway, the predicted sunrise. This is your model. This is the map that you gave. The predicted sunrise angle for your map, Tacori, is 53 degrees northeast on this December solstice in Sydney, right? That's your map. That's your model. That's what you claim. Now, I did the same thing for mine. I tested mine. I took an actual globe. I put it on a table. I put a spot of Play-Doh with a little stick on it in Australia at that spot, and I measured the angle. 27.5 degrees south is the predicted sunrise angle for the globe. Right? There is the observed sunrise, 28 degrees south of due east. Unfortunately, your model, your map, your season claim, the sunrise angle is 81 degrees off on December 20th, as seen in Sydney. In fact, the majority of the southern hemisphere is drastically off, for half of the year, way, way off. Not even close to Corey. Now, I would expect that you'd have some calculations for this, so maybe you'll have this soon. Also, your model, your season model, makes me wonder what would cause the sun to not be seen. What would cause the sun to set if it's high up? Well, how high is? You think it's in the clouds? Well, if it's in the clouds, that's weird. It would never be high. I live in Minnesota, 45 degrees north. That's more than 25 degrees latitude away from the Tropic of Cancer. That's the closest the sun could ever get. And if it's in the clouds, Tacori, it would never be up in the sky. It would be extremely low. There's no way, and I love it when flat earthers claim that. Time already. Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay, that was Michael rebuttal. What is the next thing we about to do?
My presentation.
Nah, you already did a presentation, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say we already did.
You actually went like 3 times, and I went like 2 times.
It goes presentation rebuttal. Presentation rebuttal.
Yeah.
No, he got 10 more minutes. He got 10 minutes. He didn't do his 10 minutes. He only did the 12, and then he did the rebuttal. So he got to 10 minutes, and then you can go after that.
Who? Michael?
Yeah.
He did his 10. Like he's gonna be going 4 times already, and only gonna go 2.
No, he only went and did his rebuttal. This is his 10 minutes. He only did the 12. You did the 12, he did the 12.
I don't even think I did to it, but okay.
Yeah, that was, you just did 12.
You did
All right,
22 in a row is what you did to Corey.
Yeah, you did 2 in a row because you did a
minutes in a
rebuttal,
row of
and then
Gish
you
Gallop.
did 12, and then he did a rebuttal, so he gets 12.
No, you get 10. This is 10.
I mean, I'm sorry, 10. My bad.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, sure. Time starts now.
All right. Well, the left to right curve of the horizon is a bit difficult to see at low elevation, but it's not impossible. If you have a really good setup and you're very careful, you can do it. Now, this is the setup that a friend of mine, Rory, all right, you want to see, I'm sharing my screen. If you guys want to pop that in so you can see it. There you go. All right. This is the setup. It's taken in Ibiza, which is in the Mediterranean. This is not the actual photograph. It's just a showing what the setup looks like. He has two straight edges there, top and bottom, and he lined them up so that they're across from each other. They're straight across. This is the actual photograph of interest. He lined up the horizon between the two straight edges, right between them. And we know that the straight edges are straight. So any distortion caused by the camera will be apparent because the straight edges would appear less straight. Here is that photograph that's compressed left to right, and you can see that the horizon is curved. You can see this on my website, mc2.net/left to right curve. But that's not the only one. Here's another one from low elevation. This is taken in Norway. This is with another straight edge, a single straight edge right above the horizon, or right below the horizon. Tommy Gronwald took this. Similar to the one that Rory did. This photograph here is super high res. It's much higher resolution than Rory's, because this was taken with a point and shoot camera, not a point and shoot camera, with a nice camera with a high pixel count. What I did is I went in there and I manually counted all of the pixels from the edge of the straight edge to the horizon, right there, all the way across. Every same, I don't know if it's 20 or 30 or 40 pixels. I did that. I plotted it out on a spreadsheet, and look at that. It is a curve. I did a least squares fit of that, and it even gives us a formula. Y equals negative 0.11x squared. The point isn't of the specific numbers, because they don't have any units on this. It's that it is squared. If it's a squared formula, that means it is curved, not straight. So now I have quite a few photos of the curve of the horizon. Here's one here taken from an airplane. You can see the horizon is curved there. I'm trying to see, people at home on my side can't see that, but sorry people, you have to suck it up here. Here's another one from a cockpit. Again, a curved horizon, and you can see that the horizon also didn't rise to eye level. Same thing as before. Here is a photograph of the Concorde when it was still flying, and you can see the curve of the horizon. Right, so there are many photographs of the curve of the horizon. There's even videos of the curve of the horizon. And when you take a video, you want to be sure that you have a good camera. So this guy, Dwayne Kellum, who is a flat earther, he did several videos where he sent balloons up. He used a Sony A7 II body with a Sony FE 50mm f1.8 lens. The lens has been reviewed by thedigitalpicture.com, an independent website that analyzes photographs, photography equipment. This checkerboard pattern is the actual analysis to see if there is any barrel distortion added by the lens. There is not. This particular photograph is a still from the video, but I'm just going to click on the video here and we can enjoy the video, and we can see the actual curve of the horizon both below and above center frame. We can see it on both above and below, and so we know for sure that the horizon is curved. It's not just an effect of the lens, because it's above and below. So you can see it there above the horizon, or sorry, above center frame. And let's see, we'll get a good crisp one below if we can. It's going around in circles at this point. It's at about 120,000 feet. There's a nice one there. It's right about the center frame. And again, you can see this yourself. You can analyze every single frame of the photo of the video. Let's see, yourself. There you go. Horizon curve below center frame. Let's get a few more. There you go. mctoon.net/Dwayne Kellum. This has on the screen, very nice for us, the altitude 117,000 feet. And a very good job by Dwayne Kellum. Now, he is a flat earther, and he still published this. So respect to him for publishing it, even though it contradicts what he wanted the outcome to be. And it's still on his website. He's got almost 50,000 views on this particular video. So, all right. Curve of the horizon again. Now I'll show a little deeper analysis of it. All right, here we go. Here is, I took just one shot of it and did a left to right compression of it. Now, when you do a left to right compression of a photograph, straight lines remain straight and curved lines become exaggerated in their curvature. So this is the curve of the horizon from that same video, 117,000 feet. I think the photograph gets up, or the balloon gets to 120,000 feet. We can do one more thing. We can zoom in. I actually put a line across the horizon right here. I'll zoom in on the left side. You can see that the yellow line is right on the horizon. We scroll to the right. We can see the yellow line is right on the horizon. And in the middle, we can see that there's a gap between the horizon and the yellow line, confirming again that the horizon is curved. How much time do I have left?
You have 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
3 minutes. All right. Well, I will show you this one other thing really quick. And it is about spherical excess. So here's an exercise ball that I own. I put some strings on it, and I measured the angles between each of these intersections of the strings, right? And here you go. Here's one angle. Here's another angle. Here's another angle. Altogether, the angles add up to 309 degrees, which is more than 180 degrees. So on a flat surface, a triangle has 180 degrees. This particular triangle has 309 degrees. So anytime you have a triangle where the angles add up to more than 180 degrees, you know that that triangle is on a convex surface. If it's on a convex surface, well, then it sure suggests that it's on a sphere. It's actually called spherical excess. It's something that surveyors deal with, and they need to know what to do with when they do their large primary triangulations on the Earth. So let me get you here a screenshot of a survey completed in 1900. Right here, the transcontinental triangulation and the American arc of the parallel. You can see right here, these are the triangles, the actual measured triangles. Ibapa, Pilot Peak, Ogden Peak, you see that? And then it's got the angles between them, and it sums the angles. And then there at the bottom, you see that 62.160? That is the spherical excess in arc seconds. That particular triangle has spherical excess, confirming that it's convex. And it goes on. The next one, same thing. The next one, same thing. The next one, same. In fact, there's hundreds of triangles in this particular survey done all the way across the United States, where all of the triangles have a spherical excess. Every single one of them. That's not the only one. On my website, mctoon.net/SE, I have 5 different surveys, all of them showing spherical excess in all of the triangles. So the math, I'm happy to go over the math. It is more complicated than a lot of people want to deal with, but the simple part of it is that if you sum the triangles and they're more than 180 degrees, then we know that we're on a convex surface. There you go. I'm done with my time.
Okay, so that was it. That was Michael with his last 10-minute round. Now we'll be going to the 5 round.
Don't I get my last 2 minutes?
Yeah, Tacori should rebut that.
No rebuttal.
Okay.
You got a rebuttal.
Yeah, he gets
Tacori.
rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm a rebuttal.
Yeah, you get 4 minutes rebuttal, and then we go to the rapid fire round because you the starter.
Okay. Yeah, so Tacori got his 4-minute rebuttal round left, and then we going to the 5 round.
Rapid fire. That's
Get it, Tacori.
I'm gonna share my screen again. This boy is dishonest. I'm gonna show y'all how dishonest he is. Like I told y'all, like this dude is just dishonest. And it don't take a rocket science to check out if he's dishonest.
It don't
Now
take
pay
a rocket
attention.
science.
He said this was, look how much curvature he claimed is curvature. Look how much it ain't hardly even no curvature,
Any
but yet
curvature
it's
is
supposed to be
curvature.
120-something thousand feet in the air.
Any curvature.
Now look at this right
is
here.
Curvature.
He said you could see curvature. He said you could see curvature right here. That's
No, I didn't.
35,000 feet. So
I
how
didn't
you
say that.
seeing less curvature from 125,000
dear.
feet in the air and more curvature at 35,000 feet in the air? First
Fact,
of
they
all,
do like
this don't make
modern
no
day debate,
sense.
like, good look
You
good.
can't tell me that you can see, if the earth is a ball, you can't tell me that you can see 125 feet off the ground and 125,000 feet off the ground. There's barely no curvature according to you. But then on here, you can see more curvature.
I didn't
So
claim
now,
curve there.
which one is it? Make up your mind. You ain't even got your curvature amount and your heights
Oh,
on
dear.
par. So now let's continue. I also took a picture of this right here. I'm gonna blow this up real quick over this right here. I'm gonna blow this up.
You're gonna blow it up.
Now, I'm gonna show y'all how disingenuous he been. I'm gonna show y'all how disingenuous. He showed this image right here, and he had a small light bulb. Bruh, that's a local sun. Stop using our concepts for your own concepts.
Oh my gosh.
Use the big old sun that's 93 million miles away and take that thing and push it way further, and let's see what we're gonna get. If you so confident in your whole heliocentric concept, then you shouldn't have to run a flat earth with a small sun or a light bulb that's indicating a small sun. You need to get a real big old light source and actually put the light source against the earth or against this little globe, and then let's see what type of calculations you can get. And now here's another thing. He never proved seasons. All he did was try to debunk my concepts of seasons. He never proved seasons because he need crepuscular rays going.
I don't know why he thinks
lighting up
crepuscular
half
rays
the
are
earth.
necessary for
He needs
seasons.
crepuscular rays lighting up
has
half
no
the earth
clue.
right here. Let me show y'all something. He need this to be able to prove his seasons.
How could a
but
sun
he never proved this in reality
cloud
because, like I
illuminate half
said,
the earth?
these crepuscular rays prove you wrong. These
stupid can you
crepuscular
be?
rays are saying that the sun is not 93 million miles away from here and it's not lighting up half the earth, but it's only showing the sunspots in one part of the earth. So if you can't show me lit up half the earth lit up with parallel rays, then you can't prove anything. He never showed his seasons. He never showed his day and night. He never showed the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. He never showed any of this.
Why is that
He
even
just
a
was busy
challenge?
trying to attack my concepts,
sun and
and he
moon
was trying to talk
in the
about
sky at the same
curvature,
time.
and he was trying to give fake measurements and stuff like that. But as I showed y'all, his measurements don't even add up because he got more curvature on closer grounds than higher grounds, as you can see right here.
I'm sure he's
You
not a
can't
Poe.
tell me
He's
that the
really
more
dumb.
you get higher, the less curvature you're gonna see.
Just really dumb. Man.
This is pretty much straight at 125,000 feet. But you said this was the horizon right here. And then the other photo, I wish I could screenshot that one, but you didn't show a curve. You showed the diagonal aspect of a plane. You're not fooling nobody, Michael. I'm done.
Okay. That was Corey rebuttal. So Michael, so we about to go to the 5 round. I'm gonna let Karima explain what the 5 round is so they'll understand.
It's a 10-minute apiece, back and forth. Like Tacori got 10 minutes to ask him questions. He got 3 minutes, 30 seconds. He got 30 seconds to answer the question, and he gained his time back. So both of y'all have 10 minutes apiece to go back and forth and ask each other questions on the information that they brought out.
Okay, so you got 10 minutes apiece to ask each other questions. You got 30 seconds to answer, because that stopped from being a long-winded answer, and you could just answer directly. And so which one want to go first on the 10-minute question?
He could go first.
I guess Tacori. Oh, you want to go first, Mike?
Oh, all right. So I have 10 minutes to ask him a bunch of questions?
Yes, we making it 30 seconds because a lot of people are long with the answer, and then when a person try to go on with the next question, it gets to a lot of things. So when you ask them, you're gonna have to have a certain amount of time to answer you.
All right, I'm ready.
If you ain't got that many, we can drop it down to like 5 minutes apiece.
Oh no, I can get lots of questions you can't answer. Yeah.
Okay.
So your 10 minutes starts now.
All right, what keeps the sun up?
What keeps the sun up? The sun is a light object due to the fact that light objects don't fall because of their weight, and the more weight they have less resistance. That's it.
All right, what causes the heat and light that comes from the sun?
The stimulation of molecules and atoms. The next question.
What's the cause?
The stimulation of molecules and atoms.
Yeah, what's the cause of it though?
Due to the fact that they are motion and that they move, they produce heat. And that heat also comes in with light.
What's the mechanism?
What's the mechanism? Like thermodynamics. I say thermodynamics.
That's a topic. That's not a mechanism. What's
thermodynamics.
The mechanism? What's the mechanism that causes the heat and light that comes from the sun?
Okay, what you mean like the mechanism?
Well, there's something that's the source of this energy. What is it?
That's the source of this energy. Like I said, atoms. Atoms.
Atoms aren't a cause of heat.
Atoms and electrons and protons.
That's none of them are the cause of heat.
They're not the cause of heat. So
no, they're not.
When they stimulate, they do. Same reason if I rub my hands together and produces heat.
All right, what's stimulating them?
What stimulates them? These molecules, magnetism.
Magnetism stimulates molecules.
Yes, they stimulate
Where's the
molecules.
magnetism from?
Where's the magnetism from? From the attractive pull of two objects.
Yeah, where's these magnets at?
Where's these magnets at? Everything, this whole earth is electromagnetic.
Yeah, but you're talking about the sun, not the earth. Where's the magnets at that stimulate the molecules
everything
in the sun?
Universe? Everything in the universe is electromagnetic. Next question.
Oh my God. All right. So if you have a triangle size 1, 1, and 1, what are the internal angles?
You talk about on a degree? As a degree? 180.
What are the internal angles of each of the 3 independent angles?
Oh, what is the internal angle? I don't know on that one.
The correct answer is 60. What's the derivative of x squared?
What's the derivative? Really? What this got to do with flat Earth and globe?
I get to ask you questions. What's the derivative of x squared?
Depends.
No, 2x. How do eclipses happen?
How do eclipses happen? Due to the fact that the sun or the moon intercepts each other.
All right. How do solar eclipses happen? Or sorry, lunar eclipses. How do lunar eclipses happen? When the moon goes into a shadow, what causes that?
There ain't no shadow, sir.
Well, explain it. Where does it happen? How does it happen? And how do you predict it?
How do we predict it? We predict it of the motion of the sun and the moon. Both the sun and the moon, they move at different speeds.
Well, I'm asking you for the mechanism that causes the shadow that the moon goes into. What is it?
Listen, the moon is pretty much, I'm gonna put it like this. The lunar eclipse is pretty much the moon going through her natural phases. This is why they call it a phase, because it's a development of light. It develops her light. She developed her light.
All right, so she can't answer? You can't explain
I just answered the question.
But But that's not an answer. I mean, it's again the moon gives light, and you just say it just doesn't give
That's
light
my
for a
answer.
while.
That's
So
not your
all right,
answer. That's my
all right.
answer.
So it just doesn't give light for a while. Awesome. Okay.
Oh,
How
it
is it
don't give
that
light?
how is it that Fred Espenak can predict the proper location on the face of the Earth to the minute that the next eclipse will happen for decades out? How does that happen?
I don't care about what that dude brought out. First of all, he would have to show scientific demonstrations, and he would have to break down those calculations
Yep,
to see if those
it's all in the books
calculations
that
are
he
actually.
publishes. Yeah, he's got them all. Right
I
here.
can't see that book.
Yeah.
The
Fred
screen blurry. I
Espenak, look
can't
it up.
see it.
The eclipse is predicted for decades out using the globe, using ELP 2000 model.
Using the globe, is
Yes.
it a big old? I'm pretty sure it's not a real large sun in there that he used to predict the
Absolutely
eclipses
is.
of
The
the
sun
Earth.
is 93 million miles away. And it's the VSOP 87 model of the solar system and the ELP 2000 model of eclipses. There you go. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow?
What? Unladen swallow?
Yes.
Bro, I never heard that word before.
What is your favorite color?
Dude, really? Next question.
What is the answer
Blue.
to life, the universe, and everything?
This dude, really, bro?
42
What is that?
is the correct answer.
You say 42?
The correct
you
answer is
talk about
42.
like-
Yes.
You
Yes.
talk about like the laws
What
of my eye?
causes the specific magnitude of the downward acceleration that is 9.8 meters per second squared?
It's not 9.8 meters per second squared.
But it is. What is
No, it's
this?
not.
All right, well, please stick with that one. That's ridiculous. I love that.
Okay, just because you say it's ridiculous.
At what distance does the sun set?
What distance do the sun set? The sun, first of all, the sun don't set, it just move out of your field of view.
I didn't ask that. At what distance? Come on.
At what distance? No, you didn't ask me what distance. You just
At
said
what distance does the sun set?
The sun doesn't set.
At what? All right. When you can't see it anymore, people say it's set. So at what distance does the sun set?
I don't care if it said it don't set. I'm not other people.
Okay, let's say that
I'm
today
saying it don't set.
There's almost 8 billion people on the planet here. Every single one of us, except the ones that are at the North Pole and the South Pole, they see the sun set every single day. So just saying that it doesn't set doesn't do well for you. It just makes you look kind of desperate.
Points.
So why?
That's called convergent points.
But at what distance does that happen?
What distance does that happen?
Yes.
Like around 8-9 miles.
Hey, so when the sun is 9 miles away from you, then why, when I am never closer than 9 miles away from the sun, because I live in Minnesota at 45 degrees north latitude, I'm never that close to the Tropic of Cancer. How come I can see the sun then if it's at 8 or 9 miles away?
Well, because probably you're not 8 or 9 miles away.
You think I'm closer than 8 or 9 miles from the Tropic of Cancer?
From the Tropic of Cancer? No, you're talking about the sun.
Exactly, I'm talking about the sun. At what distance
Yes,
does
you're
the
talking
sun,
about the sun moving down the
At what
horizon.
distance can you not see the sun anymore?
You talk about the sun moving out of our field of view from the horizon.
The question is, at what distance can we no longer see the sun?
I just gave you the answer.
8 or 9 miles.
You say 8 or 9, yes.
That's all right. So I am more than 8 or 9 miles from the Tropic of Cancer, and the Tropic
I'm
of
not
Cancer
talking
is
about
close,
the Tropic of Cancer. I'm
Tropic
talking
of
about
Cancer
it
is the
leaving out of your field of
yeah,
view.
but the Tropic of Cancer is the closest the sun ever gets to Minnesota on the summer solstice, and it's not 8 or 9 miles away. It's many thousands of miles away. So the sun, according to you, I should never see the sun in Minnesota.
According to you say I should never see this. You should never see the sun in Minnesota.
That's what you claim, yeah.
Bruh, I'm saying that the sun moves out of your field of view 8 miles away.
Yeah, but the sun is closer than
8 or more miles.
The sun is much farther than 8 or 9 miles from Minnesota.
Bruh, you talk about when it goes over the horizon, right? That's what
I'm talking about. Because there's always a point directly underneath the sun on the Earth.
So which one are you talking about, man? Are you talking about the Cancer or the sun going down the horizon? Which one are you talking about?
The sun on the summer solstice, the June solstice, the sun travels on your model around the Tropic of Cancer, which is about 24 degrees north latitude. I am at 45 degrees north latitude, many thousands of miles away. How? Sorry, at what distance will it set? Because I'm more than 8 or 9 miles away from the Tropic of Cancer.
I just gave you. I said 8 or 9 miles or more.
But I'm already more than 9 miles away. So I could never see it according to you.
You say you should never see it. No,
you
you
say
ain't
that.
gonna ever see
You
it.
said that. Because
okay, I tell you what.
It's more than 9 miles away.
I tell you what. Can you show me a picture? Can you show me a picture of something where you was more than 9 miles
Sorry,
away?
this is my time to ask questions. This is my time.
I'm saying.
How far
okay,
away
yeah,
will the sun set? How far till I can't see it anymore?
8 to 9 miles or a little bit more.
But I can see it, and I'm more than 9 miles away from the Tropic of Capricorn or Tropic of Cancer. According to you, I could never see the sun.
It depends on. Check this out. It actually depends on if you got like high buildings or some stuff like that.
On the ground.
About at the ocean.
I'm
talking about like high buildings while you standing on the ground.
No, I was standing on the ground today, and I saw the sun, and it's more, according to you, it's more than 9 miles away because the Tropic of Cancer is many thousands of miles away from Minnesota.
Listen, I'm going to say this again. Just because you don't accept my answer, I said 9 miles or more.
Okay,
8 to 9 miles or a little bit more.
So according to you, the sun never rises in Minnesota. Got it. You going to stick with that?
Yes.
All right. What causes the downward vector of the acceleration?
There ain't no downward vector. It's due to weight and density and air resistance.
Yeah, what causes the vector? It goes down. You can't deny that there's...
Yeah, it does goes down, but there's not no force that causes it to go down.
Well, if you have a mass and it's accelerating, then the second law of motion, F equals ma, something is accelerating it. A force is accelerating
Bro,
it.
that's y'all equation.
Yes, exactly. What is the force?
Y'all equation.
That was great. I love that. All right, let's have it, Tacori.
All right, hey, you about to get clapped. Hey, I need a real picture of Antarctica right now that you said you was gonna get as a continent.
No, this is the rapid fire. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that?
Not in 30 seconds.
You said you was gonna bring one. You said you was gonna bring one.
You said you were gonna bring measurements. You didn't bring any measurements.
I did bring. Okay, I tell you what. Break those equations down right now in front of everybody.
Wait. We gotta get your 10 minutes in.
Okay.
We all can play after that.
All right, so is Tacori 10 now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Tacori, your 10 is up to ask the questions. He has 30 seconds to answer. So to stop, like I said, to stop the long-winded answers and stuff. So let's go. Actually, you got 10 minutes to ask all your questions.
Hey, my brother.
Okay, y'all ready for me?
All right, so yeah, your 10 minutes starts now.
Hey, I got a quick
Michael.
question. Can y'all hear me?
Hold on.
No, this is Kansu. This is Kansu.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. This is one of the judges. I have a quick question. Will the judges be able to question the debaters?
I was gonna ask that after this too, because I want.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have 2 questions apiece to ask them.
Great. All right. Perfect.
You already know how I go.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Tacori, you go.
Okay, hey, Michael. What's 25 times 28? Real quick.
42.
It's 700. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is first. He don't even know first grade math, but he's giving us advanced equations that he don't even know. So since you don't even know first grade math, how do you explain how do you explain the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time on a globe Earth model?
There's no problem with that at all. I don't know why you think that's
there's no problem with that.
Right. Let's imagine. Do you see me? You see me here? Let's imagine that you are. You ready? This is gonna be crazy. Let's imagine that you are the sun, right? You're viewing the Earth from the sun. Imagine you're a lot farther away, and let's imagine that this is the moon, right? Now, if somebody on the Earth right here, somebody on the Earth see the sun and the moon at the same time?
Sir, I'm talking about the sun and the moon on each side of the sky.
Yes, exactly, right here. No problem at all.
I actually did the experiment.
No
interruptions.
He was interrupting me the whole time.
No, don't. He got 30 seconds. Let him get it in.
All right. If you are the sun and this is the moon, people in Australia could see both at the same time.
You done?
Yep.
So based off how big the moon is and how big the sun is, it's gonna seem like they overlapping each other based off how big it is due to perception, right?
Sure.
Sure.
If they're like this, then they would overlap.
So what about them on each side of each other? Because by
no
time
problem. Right
that
here.
thing
Right here.
spins, but oh well, then if that's the case, then they won't be able to see it. The person on the side of the Australia will not see it. They will not.
There's nothing. There's nothing in the way between Australia and the moon, and there's nothing in the way between Australia and the sun. Australia can see the sun and the moon at the same time. No
Sir,
problem.
first of all, remember you said your sun was 93 million miles away from here.
Yes, yeah. This
and
is
you
not
said
the scale,
that your moon. So you ain't bring no model of it today, didn't you?
You would bring what? Dude, plug into your Ethernet cable.
You didn't bring no model with you today, huh?
Well, I got one right here.
No, dude, that's not a model. Okay, so
it's
now
a physical model. Actually, it's better than that.
So since we know that you don't know, since we know that you don't even know first grade math, because I just told you what was 28 times 25, which is 700. Oh, you got 25 divide to 4, and you get 7. So you don't even know your real math. So all those
Dude,
equations that you put, you get thrown.
Sorry, doing arithmetic off the top of my head doesn't prove anything.
What's 30? What's 30 times 90?
42.
So you don't know. Okay.
It doesn't matter to be able to do.
What's 80 times 9?
I didn't expect you to do arithmetic or trigonometry.
If you don't even know how to do simple math, you can't tell me about arithmetic, pre-calculus, or any of that. You can't tell me about that.
I certainly can. Absolutely, yes.
No, you can't. So we don't even know if the measurements you got was right.
Sorry.
So now here's another.
Ask the
question. So let him answer his question.
If the moon
yeah,
is
it's a
solid,
question. You can make a little reply, but you can't turn it into an argument.
Okay, my bad. It's solid. If the moon is solid,
I didn't hear you ask a question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your internet sucks, man. Plug into your Ethernet cable.
Go ahead. He's stalling your time. Go ahead. Ask the question over and then answer it. We can hear you.
You hear me?
No.
Y'all hear me?
I do now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
If the moon,
we can hear you the whole time.
He couldn't hear me. He the only one that couldn't hear me, which I know why. But I'm gonna ask you again. How, if the moon is solid, then how can we see the blue sky in the daytime through it?
You're not seeing the blue sky through it. You are seeing the blue of the sky, and that simultaneously, people are in portions of the earth where it's darker, and they can see the unilluminated portion of it, because you can always see a little bit of it even when it's very dark. So the very same people on a different part of the earth can see the moon. It's just that the blue of the sky is more intense than the unilluminated part of the moon.
Sir, I'm gonna ask you again. How do we see the blue sky through the moon at the same time? Because we not supposed to see that with no dark gray rock. I can put a dark gray rock up right now, and I ain't gonna see no blue sky through it. So if the moon is a dark gray rock, how do we see the blue sky through it?
You do not see the blue sky through the moon.
I'm gonna ask you again, because we can all go out there and go look at it. Because in the daytime, the sky is blue through the moon. In the nighttime, it's the same thing. I can pull up some pictures if you want me to and show you. So I'm gonna ask you again. How do we see the blue sky through the moon?
The blue sky is in front of the new moon, not behind the moon.
Dude, so you can't prove, so okay, so then the moon is not solid. Okay, so the moon is not a solid object.
Don't lie.
So if the moon,
why were you lying? I gave you an answer.
Hold on.
No.
I gave you an answer.
You're lying about my answer. Don't lie about my answer. That's disgusting.
If you don't want to answer, he don't really know. Just move on to the next question.
He don't know. He don't know.
I gave you a perfect answer, and you don't like it. You don't understand it. You're not smart enough. That's your problem, not my problem.
I gave you a perfect answer for the 89 miles, and you didn't accept it.
Move on to the next question.
Okay, so now, if the moon is solid, then why can we always see the same face?
That's a great question. How does it work for flat Earth? We always see the same face of the moon Because it's in a orbit at the same rate that it rotates, at the same rate that it orbits. That's why
How
we
fast
actually
do it
see about
orbit around
59. Well, I'm not done yet. We also see about 58 or 59% of it because there's something called libration. So the moon moves a little bit back and forth, so we see the sides on either side as it librates.
Oh really? Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's called tidal locking, and it's something that's predicted because the moon is not perfectly.
How fast? How fast?
Oh, I'm not done yet. The mass of the moon is not perfectly distributed within the moon. Tidal locking is predicted, and many of the moons in the solar system are the same way.
How fast do the moon orbit the Earth?
Once every 29 days, about.
How fast? How many miles an hour? I need miles per hour.
I can do that. I can do the math on that or look it up for you, but I don't.
You
have
can't
it
even do
offhand.
first grade math. I don't.
Multiplication is not first grade math, Tacori.
How fast do the moon orbit the Earth?
I don't have it. I don't have it offhand, Tacori.
Oh, you don't have it offhand.
I could look it up.
So how do you know if they move at the same speed? But you're a college professor.
I don't need to have trivia memorized to understand things, Tacori.
Oh, okay. So you don't even know how fast the moon, or you do know it orbits 2,200 miles an hour, right? According to y'all concept.
Okay. Sounds fine.
And the average spin of the Earth is around 775 miles an hour. So how we see the same face of a moon if the Earth is spinning an average of 570 miles an hour, while the moon is moving almost 4 times its speed?
That's easy. Yes, the Earth orbits once a day, and the moon orbits once every 28 days. So the relationship between the Earth and the moon changes slowly, not quickly. So Earth, moon very far away, not to scale, right? So
I need an up to scale model.
I can't do it here in the room.
Oh, you can't do it. You can't do it.
I was answering the Tacori, so shush. All right. Here's the Earth rotating about as quickly as it really rotates. You see that? Not very fast. Here's the moon, not to scale distance away, orbiting the Earth about the same speed that it orbits. You see that? You see how fast that is? It's not very fast. The Earth and moon orbits, when orbits are talked about in angular speed, 15, the Earth rotates 15 degrees an hour. That's not very fast.
Sir, I'm gonna ask you again because you haven't even gave me no answer. Why you always got a up to scale model to prove your concepts? If you can't, why you always got an up to scale model?
In a rapid fire, you expect me to produce a 2-scale model? That's
you should have did it in the debate.
That's ridiculous.
You should have did it in a debate.
Yeah, you didn't bring a 2-scale model either. No.
Oh, I did. I did. We say our sun and moon is close. You say y'all stuff is way in another dimension.
How close?
In our atmosphere. You can't ask me no questions. So y'all say y'all moon and sun is way far away from now. Now you look stupid now, huh? Now you want that close moon and that close sun. Nah. Give us that. Oh, you don't want that? You don't want that?
They're far away.
Okay, then show us a scale model. Why ain't you pull up no up to scale model in the debate?
So what does a scale model look like? Things are points. They're so far away that it's just a dot.
You should have put it far away.
All right, that was great.
Man, that was energy. That was energy.
All right, what's next? This is great.
So it's time for the judges. He fell off. The host fell off. So we're gonna get to the judges, and we're gonna start with Thompson.
That was energy.
All right, let's get into the judging.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good discussion right there. 2 passionate people. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all been listening to the information, breaking the stuff down that they've been sharing. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what this is about. It's building, teaching, learning. You know what I mean? Discussion.
All right, let's get into the judging. All right,
and the audience, y'all can vote. You can vote 1 for Michael, and then you can vote 2 for TKO.
Yeah. So let's go to Kazu because I know he's ready to answer some questions. All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ask you two
I'm
questions,
ready.
bro.
All right. Peace. Listen, this was, hey man, this was fiery. This was fiery, and this is actually the and let me say this. Hold on. Let me share my camera. Can y'all see me?
Yes, we can.
All right. This is Brother Kansu. Brother Kansu is mixed race. Me and my nieces were just having a discussion earlier about what is mixed race or biracial. Is it a race, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I'm just saying that to say I come from an intellectual family. I am a biracial person. My father's of African origin. My mother's of Irish origin. So I find it interesting. This is actually the first debate platform that I've been on with a Caucasian, European, whatever the brother MC Tune describes himself as. But my mother is Irish. So I'm not here. I'm not, and I'm telling you this because I'm on MC Tune's side, not because my mother's white, but because I mean, when you get into the meat and potatoes of it, it's just you have to base this stuff on scientific facts. You have to base this stuff on common sense. You have to base this stuff on ancient. I mean, I even get into look at ancient depictions. The most ancient depictions of the planet has always been in a sphere, a globe, a circular. Everything in nature, in a sense, is circular or spherical. So my question to Corey is simply this: if the Earth is flat, right, then at what point during the meridians and all that, then you have north, south, east, west. If the Earth is flat, there has to be an edge. We know that by way of viewing it as a globe, we know that eventually north becomes south, east becomes west, because you keep continuing to go in one direction and it turns into another direction. So if the Earth is flat, then where is the edge of the Earth? That's my question to Brother Tacori.
You say where's the edge of the Earth?
Yeah, where is the edge?
It's like on the outer. It's like on the outer areas of the Earth, like where the ice wall is.
No, I need a specific geographical location. I need a specific geographical location to where
Can I
I will
tell you?
go and fall off the Earth
You're
if
not
I go
falling
too
off
far.
the Earth. You're not gonna fall off the Earth. We enclosed in a wall. How you gonna fall off when you enclosed in a wall? It don't make no sense.
Well, if something is flat, if it's a flat edge, right? I'm into construction. I'm an iron worker. I know that the top of the building is flat. If I walk to the edge of that building too far and I don't have a guardrail up, I will fall off the building.
Bro, you not
Gravity
on no.
will take
I'm
me
saying you
down.
not on no you not on no guardrail. We ain't walking on no ice wall. We are where the ice wall is
You just
blocking.
said we're in a wall. You just said
Man,
we're in.
come on,
Hey,
y'all
hold on,
made this.
hold on.
Y'all made this man as
Hold
a
on.
judge, bro.
I'm just
Hold on. This
asking
what
a
I'm
we
not
gonna
gonna
simple
do.
complain.
question. I'm asking a simple
Yeah,
question.
just
I'm,
answer
I'm,
the
Where is
I'm,
the
question.
edge of the Earth?
I love
I
this.
just told you where the ice wall is.
Hold on.
And
We
where
asked a
is that?
question. Hold on.
Iceland?
Just ask.
This poll is going well.
A
Hold on. Everybody
place.
Oh
quiet.
yeah, toss a
Hold
Geographical
flurf
on.
over.
location. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, yeah. I asked a question, let them answer
Hey,
it.
Jeebus, yeah,
If you don't
you
like it, then
couldn't
we just gonna
bungee
move on
jump
to the
in the
next.
same
Then
place
we
that
can
people
have
are whizzing.
discussion. Then y'all can kind of have the discussion
You'd want
after
to
the
have
debate
like
because you don't want to
designated
feel like
whizzing
nobody
spots
manipulating
and
nobody
designated
into
not
winning.
whizzing
No
So
problem.
spots.
Okay, well, let me ask the same question. Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question to Toon. Let me ask this question to MC Toon. Okay. Let me ask him a question. If he supports the global Earth theory, right? Then how do we defend that in opposition to people that ask questions about where is the edge of the earth as a global person, and how would you answer that person? How would you answer that question that I just asked?
Like, where's the edge of flat Earth?
No, because you don't believe in that.
Yeah.
So you would have to. My question to you now is, how would you refute a person who believes that there is an edge to the earth? How do you prove there isn't an edge or a falling point or a end of the flat point to the earth?
Yeah, well, most flat earthers don't think that there's like an edge. They don't generally think it's a disc in space. And people kind of mock it that that's what the flat earthers think. There's a few. But that's not really what they think. They think there's either an ice wall, I think Tacori thinks that, and then there's a dome. Some think it just keeps going. So the question really doesn't quite touch on what most flat earthers think the actual answer is.
Ah, okay. Overstood. Oh, yeah. I understand that.
So you went back and forth with me.
Okay.
I didn't go. I didn't go back. I didn't go back and forth with you, brother. I just asked the question.
We can go to Abdul. He can ask each one of y'all questions. You got
I just asked the question.
Abdul, I'm gonna mute your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't decide. Look, y'all called it early. I can't decide. It was a whole bunch of fluff and numbers that was, equations that I just couldn't understand. I couldn't type it in on my calculator.
This is the question round, not the judge round. This is questions, not the judgment.
Oh, this question?
Yeah, it's questions that you didn't understand that you kind of action on that might make you kind of change your mind.
Okay, I got one. Just my only question is, we got this technology, James Webb Telescope. How come we can't get them to turn around and shoot Earth? So we can see people upside down and sticking to the side and up on top north, and we can see this stuff. It would be easy to zoom in. We got these super HDR, 4K, 8K videos and all this stuff. Why can't we do that to settle this dispute? That would be my question.
That's a great question, and there have been. There's the Goes East and the Goes West satellite. Russia has several that they have that you can view your own on your own. NASA has the Epic Discover satellite. You can get real-time pictures of the Earth from that. And Himawari is a Japanese one. You can see the entire Earth from space using with that one. So you can see there's multiple different ways that you can see the Earth from space from a far distance away. The really close ones, they don't zoom in super far. That's not what they're for. That's not what they do. They're not designed for that. They're looking at weather patterns. There are potentially spy satellites that can get very close, but nobody's going to give you that access. So, but we can see from space the man-made structures like cities and developments like that through these different satellites that I listed off there.
Yeah. So, do you got a question for Tacori, Abdul, or is it the same question you want to ask?
Same question for Tacori.
Yo.
Yeah, you want him to repeat the question he had?
You want me to repeat the question?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, nah. The reason that we don't get pictures of the Earth and stuff, because those Hubble telescopes never even went out there. If they did, they would have took a picture in Antarctica like he promised he was gonna bring. How you gonna tell us that we could see all of those galaxies from thousands of miles away, but we can't get a decent picture of Antarctica as a continent? That's my answer.
Thanks.
No.
Okay. I got
Okay.
one more. Okay, this is my second. How many questions? We get 2 questions or just one?
Yeah. You got another one.
Okay. What about Admiral Richard Byrd? This is to both of you guys. Was he fake? Did the government fake him? And did they fake that expedition? That's my
Wonderful question. Wonderful question.
Go ahead, Tacori.
Well, I don't know too much about this man. But if you go on the expedition and if you actually go out there and go see it yourself, and he saw that the earth is flat or he saw the ice wall, then you can't fake an expedition. You pretty much, if you actually went out there, you went out there, you know.
No,
All right.
actually, you
All
can
right.
fake one.
Can I answer?
Yes, it's your answer.
All right,
It's
so
your
yeah,
time to answer.
I there's no reason to think he's faked anything about it. He did explore Antarctica. One of the most famous quotes that people kind of misunderstand is when he said that past on the other side of the South Pole is an area the size of the United States. Now, if you look at Antarctica and you put from where he started across Antarctica, I'll get it here. Right, that's not very good there because this is in the way. So if on the other side of the South Pole, there is an area the size of the United States on the other side of the South Pole. So yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. He did not talk about there being like some sort of an impenetrable ice wall. He just said it was a very cold and difficult terrain to go look at, but nothing wrong with anything that he said that I've ever found.
Are we able to ask questions, or we have to wait for the judges to?
Yeah, we gotta wait for that's depending. The Karima, did you want them to be able to ask a question too?
No,
Ooh.
Carla can
Well, how about we let the judges ask? How about we let the judges ask first, then they judge, and then we can do that afterwards. So it
mute
won't
your mic.
prolong it.
Everybody just jumped on. Okay, I wanna ask Carla. Carla, you been watching this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You been watching it the whole time?
Yeah.
You want to be a judge?
Do I want to be a judge?
Yes.
I just wanted to bring some things to light before the judges, because I think that the judges have a hard time making the decision because they're not actually informed on some things. So that's why I was saying, are we able to say something and then they can make their decision or whatever?
That's
okay. So I wanted to point out.
Yeah, I prefer you to kind of be a judge in the situation, because I see a little tension between Kansu and TKO, and I don't want it to be where it's a problem. So if you can step in a little bit on top of Kansu.
Yeah, if that's okay with MC.
All right, thank you.
No idea what they're doing.
Okay, Zion, is your 2 questions up next?
Yes, why did I come on?
Well,
this?
I do have a question for MC.
I'm interested
so
in
when this person was actually
hold on, it's Zion time. You can ask after Zion time.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part. Go ahead, sorry.
Come on, Zion.
All right. I only have one question for both. Well, MC, Tim, do you have a mathematical measurement for the circumference of the Earth?
The circumference. Well, we can
the
get
distance. The distance, not just 160 something degrees, but the distance of the Earth. What would be the distance of the globe?
Like the radius of the Earth or the diameter of the Earth?
Yes, the radius. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So I did it myself. I did an Eratosthenes type measurement 4 different times on both solstices and both equinoxes. I was just under 4,000 miles was the measurement I got, about 6,370 kilometers for the radius of the Earth. Mine is not nearly as good as some of the others, like the transcontinental triangulation and the American arc of the parallel that you can see on my website. I have it. I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. mctoon.net/r. There's 6 different measurements there. And as I talked about in the presentation, you can actually take those spherical triangles and you can get the angles of those triangles and the lengths of the size of the triangles, and you can get the radius of the Earth, of the convex surface that it's sitting on. And every single one of those triangles in those different surveys come up with the same radius of the Earth too. All on my website, as I cited earlier.
And what was that number again?
About 6,370 kilometers. It's different. The polar radius is different than the equatorial radius because of the Earth's rotation.
Right. I would ask the same thing for Brother Tacori. The distance of the radius of the flat Earth. Do you have a number, specific number of the either by miles, kilometers? How
just a little while, just under 4,000
how would you
miles.
measure it? What would be the size of that by distance?
He won't have any number.
Well, okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, well, I could tell you like this. Okay, so now the circumference, there was models out there that said that the circumference of the flat Earth, even including with the ice wall, is 49,728. Now, when you're talking about the radius, when you take the radius, you got to divide 49,728 into 6.28 because pi times 2, you know what I'm saying, will give you 6.28. So you divide that and you pretty much would get like around 7,000. You probably get around 7,000 miles. Yeah, 7,000 miles, or 6.25 or 62.5% of 7,000 and something miles, which you would get probably like 5,000 something kilometers.
Not even close.
According to those models.
Not
I'm gonna be honest and say I didn't do the measurement myself, but I saw certain models from flat earthers who have degrees and stuff like that who actually did who actually did this. So therefore,
that did this?
I got 7,000 something kilometers. Miles and 5,000. 5,000 something miles and 7,000 something kilometers. My bad.
He tried.
Soon, how many miles would that be in would you say kilometers or meters? You said
he
meters.
Gave a couple different answers. I'm not sure which one he wants.
Okay, I'm
convert them quick.
I'm gonna say it simple. 7,000 something kilometers or 5,000 something miles. I kind of got it mixed up. My bad.
7,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles is the what?
Is the radius?
The radius of flat
miles
Earth.
of the. Yeah, from off those models I seen.
And what did you say again? Toon, was the distance that the radius? You said something
the radius
like
is about just under 4,000 miles. Yeah.
4,000 miles.
Yeah, just under 3959 is the average.
Got you. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so Karima, so Carla is now a judge.
Yes.
Okay, so Carla, you got two questions to ask
Okay.
ladies.
All right. My question is for MC.
Yeah, he didn't
Have
get
you
the
heard of
conversion.
Summergate?
Summergate. I don't know her. She sounds interesting.
Yes. So Summergate is quite interesting. It's actually someone who explored Antarctica that you were referring to. I don't remember the name that you stated of someone else, and you don't think that he lied. What I find is interesting that our government continues to keep this information hidden from us. It is called Summergate for those who want to look it up. It's a quite interesting story of him exploring Antarctica illegally and being curious. So for those who don't know what Summergate is where the Antarctica only melts during the summer. So there's a gate that actually opens where you can actually explore outside of those walls that are there. Now, what they discovered during Summergate is other landmass. Now, the government is aware of this. So I'm trying to follow your theory about the Earth being an actual sphere, right? Because if the government is aware that only during the summer that the opening is there, and they don't allow anyone to explore Antarctica. I don't know if everybody understands that or knows that, and there's a reason. Now, what was discovered, there are 2 other suns that were discovered that is there. Now, if you can Google this, MC, and I want you to look at the map with me real quick. Just do Summergate.
Wait, this the question. This the questions for the judges, and then so they can answer, so we can get to the judging.
Yeah, I'm asking him this question because he brought up Antarctica. Did you not?
I did not.
You didn't bring up Antarctica?
No, Tacori.
Oh, okay. So maybe this question's for Tacori. I apologize, MC. So Tacori for the Antarctica question. Yeah. So, but it basically explaining why we actually see the eclipse is because there are 2 other suns. Now, according to scripture, which I know you know this, Tacori, that in the book of Enoch, it talks about the sun going into a portal because you guys kept arguing about whether or not the sun sets, which is technically doesn't set. So, but it goes through an actual portal. But by having this evidence here, it was support to explain, okay, how do you explain the spear theory if it doesn't even show these, let's see, 4 different land masses that were found and to be proven. There's a book on this that they keep from the government. So are you familiar with Summergate, Tacori?
I'm a little bit familiar with Summergate. My sister gave me the book about it like a week or 2 ago, and I read a little bit about it.
There were pictures.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So do we have, like, I understand you understand that it's actually in a dome. So do you believe that it's actually a closure where the keeping the water in? Kind of explain your theory. That's what I'm asking. Do you believe in what others believe far as a dome, or you believe that there's no, end to Earth?
I know that there's a dome or a hedge of protection. That's one of the things that the government actually removed from our concepts. They took away the dome so they could persuade us of cataclysmic events and meteor showers and all of these close call extermination. The Most High pretty much told us that we are protected in here. And not only just that, but we are stable. But on a heliocentric model, they teach that we're not even important. We're not even important in size, and we got all of these meteorites that's moving as fast as bullet speed, just almost hitting the Earth on some Jedi type stuff. Let's put it like this: on some stormtrooper type stuff. All of those fast moving meteorites that's moving 20 times past bullet speed, and yet not one of them hitting the Earth don't make no sense. So they took the dome and our hedge of protection away from us. When you go to Nut and Gale, Nut had a dome. Nut was the dome that was arched over Gale. She was acting like a hedge of protection. So you can even find this in Kemetic cosmology, Norse cosmology. All the ancients knew that there was a dome. So you couldn't fool the ancients with no cataclysmic events and no rocks flying and crashing into other places causing extinctions.
No, I'm not interrupting. I'm muted.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering the question. And then my last question is for NC. You stated that how fast did the Earth move that you stated before?
Around the sun, it about 1 degree per day.
1 degree. Okay. Now you do understand that the Earth moves 1,000 miles per second, correct?
You mean the rotation? The
rotation of the Earth.
The linear speed of the rotation of the Earth at the equator is 1,040 miles per hour, about.
So my question is, well, actually, it recently changed, and scientists just reposted it, that the Earth is actually supposedly moving faster, and we move to the atomic clock. But my question for you is, explain to me if the Earth is moving 1,000 miles, or like you say, 1,040 miles per hour, how are we able to navigate the GPS?
The GPS. Well, GPS satellites are in a much higher orbit than other things, and they're moving very fast. I don't know why any particular linear velocity has anything to do with that, because we're stationary in relation to the surface of the Earth.
If the GPS, if you're driving and you're moving and it's telling you where to go, if Earth is moving, why am I'm able to continue with my position?
Yeah,
that's my question to you.
So the GPS system uses an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinate system. It's a three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, and it gets charted or converted to a WGS 84 latitude longitude position. I don't know why you have any problem with that. The satellites are orbiting; they send out their particular location with a particular time, and based on the amount of time.
If the Earth is moving,
I wasn't done.
Isn't your position changing? Yes or no?
Yes, it's changing.
Okay, that's all I needed you to say. So if it is changing, and you really don't have an explanation on why.
I have a perfect explanation, but you were interrupting me.
I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You interrupted.
Yeah, I want you to answer the question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Michael gonna answer, then we will go to the judging.
All right. GPS uses an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinate system. That's ECEF, and then it plots it out. It converts it to the WGS 84, which is a latitude, longitude, elevation. You are moving in relation to the satellite, and the satellite's moving in relation to you. There's no problem with that. But you are stationary with this within the surface of the Earth when you're not moving. Of course, when you're driving a car, you're moving in relation to the surface of the Earth. But there's no problem with GPS. They're very accurate to a couple meters is all you. It's not that hard. I don't know why there's a problem with that, but
okay. We're going to the judging. The first person we will go to Abdul, because he said he
Weeboo
he
Metalhead
didn't know which
says,
way
that
we
was
will see if any of his questions or any of the other judges' questions change his mind. Let's go, Abdul.
Yeah. No, it didn't. But I'm giving the point to Tacori, period.
Okay. Next person we could go to is Carlo.
Hold on real quick. Can you explain why, brother?
Okay, yeah, explain.
Yeah, you got it. You got to explain why.
Because I understood what Tacori was talking about and the perspectives and everything. And the other guy,
perspectives don't matter in this. This is facts.
It's
you
right.
got to judge them based on
Let him go, concept.
Tacori said. I understood what he was saying. And that's why I typed on there. My Nikon P1000 says otherwise. You know what I'm saying? But he came with this stuff. But the math really confused me. It was like really, really confusing. And it shouldn't be that confusing.
But it shouldn't be.
You know?
Because he's not smart enough to understand it. It shouldn't be.
Okay, we could go to Carla. Carla, explain who you choose to win and why did you choose that winner?
All right. So I asked MC to explain the Summergate explanation because there are several landmasses that are not based on the spirit and the logic. That's number one. Now, it is a scientifically proven fact that the air is able to create water and that there's water above. That's why the sky is blue. Now, I've actually researched, and so I don't want to take it biasly based on information that was brought tonight. From the information that was brought tonight from MC did raise some good points.
Oh dear.
I think Tacori tackled a lot of some of the questions that he had to kind of explain, but there were times where MC had a challenge of answering Tacori questions as well, which he raises some good pointers as well to try to explain. On both ends, if you're going to have a
The
stance
sky is
on
blue
anything,
because
you
there's
have to be
water.
able to prove
Oh,
your
you're
point
so dumb.
to help the judges to make a logical decision based on facts and not based on just, oh, I'm just going to vote for this person. So one thing I don't do is vote biasly. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I vote based on information. So there were a couple of things that I feel that MC could have answered to support his answers. So I think that Tacori really brought some really good information to challenge MC on some of the areas that they, pointed out. And I wanted to give MC an opportunity by asking him the questions on trying to explain Summergate. You have to be able to explain that because it's not a part of the map that we're using. So if you're aware of this, does that not raise a concern to you why the government is not sharing this information and adding these land masses to the map? And if that's why I asked him, can you bring it up so that you could take a look at it? Because if your theory is saying it's a spear, this is an explorer who actually explored and actually reported what he saw, right? Which completely contradicts what NASA is teaching us. That's the point of me bringing it up. So I gave him that opportunity. And since, he was not able to explain that or even elaborate, I feel that it raises a concern on him being able to prove that it's a spear. Even when he even brought up on the fact of how far the sun is and being able to see the sun and how far the sun is. Now, Tacori even stated that he didn't argue that it wasn't 8 to 9 miles out and explaining it. Now, yet we know that the sun do go in Minneapolis. So Tacori was wrong on that one. But I'm just saying he was not able to really prove and say, okay, well, based on what we're able to see, you can't see space on your own personal telescope like they're projecting far as the solar system itself. You don't have the technology to do that. Now, we only go by what NASA presents to us, and that's what we go by. That's how we came up with this whole concept and going by what they say. They just posted that the Earth is moving even faster. That's why I asked them those questions. So to shortly, my vote goes to Corey because MC did not convince me.
Okay. Let's go next to Zion. Zion, tell the people who you say won and why you say that.
All right. So I didn't base my decision on my own personal beliefs. I based it on the presentation, the articulation of what was being discussed by each opponent. I believe that Tacori did very well. He did way better than he did in our debate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking nothing away from the brother. However, during the first round of Tacori's presentation was highly based upon observational science, although he did have some sources to back his stuff up. A lot of this was coming from sources that he found on the internet, some videos and stuff like that, and I'm not taking nothing away from that. I would consider that a persuasive a persuasive authority or secondary sources, not necessarily a scholarly source. You know what I'm saying? However, when Toon made his presentation, he articulated very well. His presentation was partly his own. It was written. He created his own models, which had the mathematics for the horizon for perspective, and it had the math about it, which I thought was very educational in itself. Toon's presentation and his way he presented his case was much like a college lecture. So I I kind of gravitated toward it a little bit more because of the simple fact that the way he presented it, step by step, was much like a professor would do. The math. So in the question and answer round, Tacori did not really answer in that first question when the rebuttal to Tunes. Toon answered, rebutted everything that Tacori said as if he took notes, which I took note of, right? So when he went to his rebuttal to Tacori's round, he answered step by step everything that Tacori stated. And he was very confident in it. And one of the things about persuasive argumentation is you have to be confident. You're not going to be like, well, if this is that, then why is this? When you ask a question, even if it was a rhetorical question, it takes away from your credibility to me, because you shouldn't even have to ask a question. You should be making assertions, you know what I'm saying? And confident assertions with your supporting evidence. Okay, so there was a lot of conjecture. Well, he said this, and this is why, and this don't make no sense. That's conjecture, you know. And you know, from my standpoint, if I'm going into law, I'm looking at things from an objective standpoint. And in argumentation, you have to be confident, you have to be persuasive, and when you're asking questions in the middle of your answers or in your presentation, you don't come off as confident. It's almost as if you're still asking the questions to yourself. Well, why is this? Well, if this is this, then why is that? Never once did you see Toon do this throughout his entire presentation, nor in his answers in the question and fire round. So once again, I'm only focusing on how they presented their cases and how they presented their argumentation.
Hey, everybody's talking about Socrates.
Toon's articulation, he simplified a lot of very complex physics, which I thought was dope. You know what I'm saying? Tacori also had some models, but at the same time, I felt like he left a lot of gaps. And so I felt that there was kind of a lack of confidence, and there was a lack of actual citation that was necessary. Toon turned around and provided historical evidence going back to that document that was from the 1700s, which actually, you know what I'm saying, negates the whole, oh, this is NASA's, you know what I'm saying, conspiracy theory, because NASA did not exist in the 1700s. He even went back a little bit further to a Muslim, the guy with the Islamic name, I forget the name, and he brought that out. When I asked him, like, do you have another historical source? Because he was done 4 or 5 minutes. He had 5 minutes left in his round. So I was like, yo, keep going. Do you have another source? This is not personal, Abdul. Stop it. So you should stop, because you are the most biased MFer in this room. That this debunked the conspiracy.
Zion
right?
and
the second round,
Abdul
you know
are
what I'm
getting
saying?
a little hot.
Tacori did give some stuff that provided equations, but I don't think he got he didn't really get that deep into some of the answers. He provided some document that had equations in it, and then he also provided one of them that was from NASA that talked about a flat Earth model, but he really quickly moved away from it. This is why I thought it was really interesting that Toon brought it back up and highlighted it, showing that this thing was not, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't what was being stated. It wasn't stating that the Earth was flat. It was breaking down these things into simplicity. So that was the other thing. So the model was the debunked Tacori's model. The rapid fire round, Tacori, this is really where it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I was hoping that Tacori would win because he beat me in the debate. I apparently did not do a good enough job, and I'll accept that.
Just call me.
You know what I'm saying? Rapid fire round. Like Tacori could not answer one of his questions. He was non-responsive. He was asking questions to the questions. When he was asked the question, he was like, "Well, then why? No. Don't do that." See, that takes away from your ability to be persuasive to those who are watching, your jury pool. If you're in the courtroom your client going to jail for a long time.
Zion,
Right?
who you picking for,
So,
hon?
excuse me.
Who you picking?
So, excuse me. I'm not done. If Karima tells me that I come off then I'm done, then I'm done.
Yeah,
But
let
I'm
him
giving
run.
you because nobody else is really breaking down the reasons why they're coming to their conclusion. And that's what I'm supposed to do as a judge. And I'm trying to be fair and impartial, and I'm showing y'all what my reasons are. Not based upon my own opinions, based upon the presentation. That's what I'm doing. So please don't cut me off. So Tacori asked irrelevant questions, math questions that had nothing to do with the topic. So he just, because he was asked some math questions that were relevant to what was presented in MC Toon, Michael's case, he was like, well, what did that have to do with the price of Can Be? Well, if you were listening, you'd know that the questions that he's asking you, he already presented in his presentation. The perspectives, you know what I'm saying? He was bringing out math equations that he had already brought in his original presentation. Nobody was paying attention to that. So then Tacori comes in his fire ants around and starts asking him basic, you know what I'm saying, off the head, you know what I'm saying, which I thought that if I was in court, I would have objected on that on the base of relevance, and it would have been sustained. Okay, so based upon that alone, not my own personal opinion, you know what I'm saying, because honestly, you know what I'm saying, I told you I was rooting for Tacori, but I could not. At the end of the day, give it to Tacori. So my vote goes to Michael Toon. And watch your little racist friends in your background. They got to watch their mouths. Watch your mouth, God damn it.
Okay. Don't pay attention to the comments. No, don't nobody pay attention to the comments. Get in the comment section if you want to talk, but don't pay attention to them.
So is that all the judges?
Consul.
Oh, Consul.
Yo, you can't hear me now?
Explain who you said it wanted and explain where.
All right. Peace to the family, man. This was intense, fiery, full of information, full of both sides did a wonderful job. But I'm gonna get straight cut to the chase.
Would be a good lawyer.
I feel like
he's got to be able to wrap it up.
Sources used was to me, a YouTube video of somebody else doing some shit in their backyard to prove that the Earth is flat is not. That's a joke to me. That's a joke. When you talk about scholarly sources and resources, scientific sources, I need quotes. I need references. Who said what, when? Was there a scientific journal? Was the journal reviewed by peers?
12 more judges left. No.
You know, empirical data.
Not 12 more judges.
A lot of that's hard to show in certain circumstances, but I feel that Tacori failed for the most part in that. He went on and on and on to me about a bunch of mumbo jumbo and deflected. So I'm giving it to MC Toon. Just intellectually sharper and just I think ahead of Tacori's league, and that's my judge.
Yeah. So I guess that's what Ty.
Shalom to CeeLo on the panel. Introduce yourself, CeeLo.
Oh, we got another one.
CeeLo.
Well,
we're gonna open up the panel from here.
Great. All in Rahuba, salam and shalom and all them good greetings. I'm loving this. First of all, I'd like to make an acknowledgement on greetings to Jeremiah Judah for this Lion's Den, also to Karima. Great job you guys doing.
Lucas,
this is I caught the tail end of it, but this is a conversation and a debate that is very common everywhere. Always a flat earth against, to prove this and that. But I learned, for the assessments that a lot of judges gave, I've learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a conversation that I really don't like to get into. It's like it's like a conversation like, God and the Bible. I just don't get into these conversations anymore. But I can tell you this, that to me, this is more like critical thinking.
Right.
I lean more towards the paradoxical thinking. And let me just explain real quickly what I mean by that. It's like when you hear someone says, I got up in the morning and I see the sunrise. And then someone says, you didn't see the sunrise because the sun doesn't rise. It's the earth tilting, moving, so the sun appears to be rising. You see, both are right. Both are right, because you're seeing the sky is blue. The sky is not really blue. That's the nitrogen. It's reflecting because of the color spectrum, because of the sun. You know what I'm saying? The light, reflecting the light. So there's ways you can look at this. You think paradoxical. Same thing with this conversation when it deals with the globe, the earth being round, and also earth being flat. Now, the earth do appear to be flat. I mean, we experience that on an everyday basis, unless you get on a alien ship, or you get on some vehicle and shoot out into the cosmos and then look back down. Then you can say 1,000% that whether the Earth is flat or the Earth is round. So that's gonna be kind of hard to really assess that. You know what I'm saying? But I could tell you this, that if you study geometry, right, and you look at the circle, right, and then you look at the square, they look different, but do they equal the same? Yes, they do. They're both 360 degrees. But how can something that looks different equal the same? Because it's a matter of perspective.
Don't equal the
You know what I'm saying? So we have to go back and think about that. It's just a matter of perspective. People, they say the earth is flat. It's flat for some people, but then when you look at it, the earth also is a globe. It could be a globe. You know what I'm saying? Because a globe can be a square. A square could be a globe, back and forth. That's paradoxical thinking. You know what I'm saying? But I love the conversation. Great debate. When I listen to these debates, I look forward to see what the debater and the skills that they use to make their point. You know what I'm saying? They claim. So I didn't have time to do that. So, and it's kind of hard to judge conversations like this. But I just want to say that if you really want to get really into learning about what Earth is, then look into geographic oceanography, because you have scientists, you have engineers that go out and they do mining, and they look at the crust of the Earth, and they look at the plate tectonics and how it's shifting. This is things that studies that are going on right now. You know what I'm saying? They have devices to do this. This is surveying. This is, oceanography. You know what I'm saying? So there are some great books on that. Study that. Antarctica, it's a landmass that they're known to exist. It's known to exist. You know what I'm saying? Because there have been studies. There are scientists, especially in the University of New Mexico. They study mining, and they go out there and they have these devices, and they go out and they do these things. Okay.
They're like
what is it? Someone translate? I'm not gonna translate that. I can't see. But anyway, thank you very much for the acknowledgments. I'm just gonna fall back and beautiful conversation. Great job. Good job. Great job.
Is that my brother Silos? Is that Silos?
Yes, it's me, Silos. Silos Congas. Yeah. I'm studying to be a crown ambassador for the African Kingdom Federation, but I reach out to everyone, Israelite. The world. I just reach out to the world. Humanity. You know what I'm saying? So. Right. But I'm Silos Congas. Yeah, man. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, nice to see you back over. I got to step in and see. I pride myself of the Lions Den being a fair place where debaters get a fair chance. So I got to take away two judges. First, I got to take away Zion because Zion debated Tacori. I didn't pick the judges today, Tacori.
Yeah, he said he didn't have a problem with him. Tacori said, yeah,
So
so
right
we
now
already,
it's a tie.
I
we
refuse
So we
talked
to
just
be
behind
a
the
need
judge
one
at
scenes.
more
first. I
person
said I
to
didn't
vote.
want to be a judge.
That's
I said
why
I
I
didn't
got
want to be a
extra.
judge because I didn't want to be
And
perceived as impartial. Corey
and
said,
Hey,
Tacori said,
Jeremiah Judah, I allow him to vote. I allow
yeah,
him
he
to
did.
vote.
He did.
Wow.
Let's not make a scene on live right now.
All right.
So yeah,
Annabelle,
he
no,
did.
it's a
I
religious
can't
kind
have
of group
Carla's
mostly.
vote because she was in the audience going back and forth with Brown Earthers, and she wasn't the original judge.
Oh, so Carla's a flirt. So
we can't count
dude's
her.
getting rid of a one vote each. So
Can't count Carla's vote. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair to MC Toon, Michael Toon. Because if I was a debater and I see somebody in the audience going against my information and they jumped on the panel
bread,
and become a
homemade
judge,
bread made today.
I would be upset. So, we can't do that.
Yeah, I didn't know she was going back and forth over his information. I just asked her, did she see the debate?
I
wouldn't go back and forth with anyone. I was asking questions.
Okay, so
they cannot handle the audience.
If I weren't trying to be,
all right, chill out. All right, now who hasn't won as a judge? Did Consu go?
It was a tie.
Yeah, me and Consu, we had kind of gotten into it.
Poseidon have
Yeah, okay, y'all gonna have to do a poll.
Hold on. We already.
We're gonna do a poll.
Said we was gonna do that, but the thing in the matter is, before we went live, everybody that's on, including Consu, we already discussed this. And Tacori said it was cool. He had a little disagreement, but then when they started getting into it a little here, then I put on Carla to be a second judge.
So, all right.
But since
So you know the flurf.
to balance it out. But if you take it away,
turn them down a little bit. They're a little low. The flurf, PJ Corrigan is non-responsive, and he's the one that said, "Look at the thumbnail. He was a little pissy."
Oh man, would they have somebody who I debated in there,
And so I could finish this. Then I got to read super chats. Well, and so we'll just roll right into that. I think the flurf is going to run. So. All right. Well, if it does go to a poll on their channel.
And I explained to MC why I decided, but I understand what you're saying. I think that they should go to the polls and let the poll answer.
And here's the thing. Flat earthers and globe earthers, they always going back and forth in the back chat. That's what happened when they come with two different concepts.
Y'all know what? I'm gonna get out the way. Y'all keep it how you had it.
I mean, it is what it
They just can't do something. Come on.
Let's not listen to the audience, because that's what the audience is saying, and we're not listening to the audience. 9 out of 10 chances the audience come from MC, so we're not listening to what they dislike and what they do not like. Okay, we already
I just want to be sure you all are very polite in their chat. Please be sure of that, people.
If somebody in the audience jump in,
all right. Yeah, they're just all right. All right.
But y'all do it how y'all want. I tried. Okay, I'm done. 2-2.
There you go.
That's on y'all. All right.
I've watched some of their stuff before. They're like this all the time.
I tried to do this before. Somebody said, "Man, this dude, I debated him. He just happened to me before."
That's a good idea. There,
I didn't know two people debated. And I used one person to judge, and I got thrown under the goddamn bus.
Yeah, we know you're trying to be.
You would have had a problem.
We know you're trying to be fair, but this is not the time to be doing that right now. We know you're trying to be fair. We know that you're trying to be fair, so they see that.
Yeah, Jeremiah, you got a good point, Jeremiah.
So
you got
Alan,
a great point there, because even in court of law, if the judge, they have to recluse
thing
themselves if they're a little biased, you know what I'm saying, and that's exposed, then you gotta recluse yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to not be biased in the conversation.
Right, but everybody on here on the panel, including Zion and what's the name, was going back and forth with
and
people
what's her name?
Saying things to people
Carla.
on the panel. I mean, the chat. So let's not go there and point out certain people and then get on them about what they doing, and because they made a judgment. Okay?
Right.
I'm gonna leave it alone, but from now on, have all the judges on the panel. Do not add nobody extra.
If you want to jump in their chat,
I know how I feel.
Yeah, we just had a fill-in. We just needed a fill-in because I didn't want nobody to think that it was
their
biased.
chat.
That's why I did that. But everybody, including Abdul, was going back and forth with people in the audience. Okay, so let's not make it seem like it's something biased type thing. But they more than welcome to come on and hit that link and state their opinion. And we just gonna leave it to the polls, and the vote right now would be a tie. If you take anybody away, it would consider to be Tacori. So I'm not trying to do that right now. So we're just gonna leave it at a tie.
Yeah, let's not take nobody away.
Yeah, we can do it.
I'm good with a tie.
Yeah. So we could do part 2 if that's what y'all want to do, and then we could just make it a poll thing, and then you can bring your soldiers or whatever.
Yeah, I was on his panel. I was on his panel. His people was
we already know.
Biased.
That's what they don't understand. Okay, this debate is actually okay. Yeah, hold on. This debate is actually an ongoing debate. He went.
Yeah,
hold on. Zion, hold on.
I can barely.
Okay, he went on MC Toon's platform, and he agreed to MC Toon agreed to come on the Lions Den on his platform to hold a debate. So I appreciate you coming over here and picking the Lions Den to come over here. I already know what the audience about. You know, they soldiers for you anyway. So at the end of the day, welcome to the Lions Den.
In the future, Karima, you can reach out to me, and I'll judge if without bias.
I actually reached out to Mugabe, that was in the audience. A lot of people that was actually in the audience, and Vocab Manon, but he was a little late, and he was going to come on here too. But I want Toon to speak before everybody else start going, and then Tacori.
All right, so to wrap it up, it's a tie. Hey, I'm happy with that. This was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me on. I realize maybe it's certainly a little different for me, a little different for you. It was a real treat, and thank you so much for letting me be part of your community for this time. I love it. Tacori, I had a great time. I think I hope you did too. Whatever. Have a good night. I'm gonna, if you guys can probably just keep chatting. I'll probably pop out in a little bit and go over to my channel and just be over there. But thanks a lot.
I got a question. Did you feel like you was treated fairly here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel it was biased or any kind of form?
No.
Or anything?
You guys are great.
You guys are great. I appreciate it.
Could you post your link, MC Toon? Could you post your link to your channel and stuff in the back chat right there on the bottom for us so we can check you out?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good debate. I think both of them did a really good job. Well, y'all know it had to be good if I hopped on here, right? But Tacori, you did your thing. Congratulations. Hopefully, I'm not sure if they're gonna do a poll or not, so I'm curious to see what the results are. But either way, you both did a great job.
Yeah, appreciate you, Michael, for coming up here, man, and doing your thing, man. This was a fun debate, man. Like my adrenaline is pumping because this was a good debate, man. This
you did good, brother. You know what I'm saying? You definitely, you know what I'm saying? You were very persuasive. You know what I'm saying? I just, I had to rule either way. And I was rooting for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Toon just came a little bit more collegiate.
Okay, let me
I guess because I'm a college student, I was a little bit more.
No, it's hold on, Zion. You're speaking a little bit too much. It's his closing. It's Tacori's closing. Let him get it out in.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that we wasn't that you view the platform that you view it. It was good being on your platform too, giving you that work on gravity and stuff, but yeah, it was a good debate, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I'm gonna pop out. I put my link to my channel in here. It's just MC Toon on YouTube. So thanks a lot. We'll see you later.
And I will inbox you the poll. So
okay.
You can share.
Yeah,
You wanted to say something. All right. That was it. How much can you take? How much can you take? It just goes and goes and goes. All right, I got a backlog of stuff to read here, so let me get on that here. Thank you for sticking around. Like I said, the flat earther, that PJ, whatever PJ, PJ Corrigan, he has not answered. He has not even read the messages, but he has read several of them. So like he won it this time. So anyway, I'll read these super chats here, people. Thank you very much. Luke Filewalker says apparently Mitchell was there again today. Yeah, so we talked about that. His video was nothing, which hey, it's not Mitchell's fault that the exhibit wasn't working, but he should go back for that money, right? Colin Dresser, why would you encourage violence, McPoon? What violence? I didn't encourage any violence. I condone no violence. I am a perfectly peaceful man. Mini Karen Tacori still loopy. All right, that was old. Let's see. I'll try and skip over the ones I've already read. MC Toon's mom didn't want this. So if Master gave McDobby a sock, what would that mean? Been a while. Earth still flat, says Digital Demonic Davros. Colin Dresser. Dave Kirshner. On your marks, get set. Hold on. Absolutely. My gosh. That was so painful. They just go forever. They don't have anything else to do, I guess. LB Stuff and Morris is letting him go first. The longest intro ever, 45 minutes. Oh, jeez, no kidding. William Foley for $2. I award to Corey 1, top left. Man, his stuff is like juvenile. It's not even Flurf 101. He wasn't even remedial Flurf. He just flat denies that things accelerate downward at 9.8 meters per second squared. Just doesn't even understand that. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review says, what phase of the moon is it on flat Earth? Full moon. It's always full moon on flat Earth. Werewolves love it on flat Earth. Yeah, well, on flat Earth, depending on your location, you'd see a different portion of the moon. Patrick Butler for $2 says, this guy seems to make a lot of sense. And I think he's talking about Tacori. But Patrick Butler is a fake Flurf. So you're not fooling me, Patrick. I know. I'm on to you. Luke Filewalker for €2 says, next up in the Muppet Show, fans in space. Yeah, he didn't understand that there's no air in space, or, not enough to cause wind. Oh my gosh. Liquid Flames says he's at the top of the Dunning-Kruger line graph. That is peak ignorance and peak confidence at the same time. For sure. Lord Illuminous Pooh for $5 says, anytime I give a homeless person money for a cup of coffee, I never get that coffee. Hashtag no brain, no curve. Lord Illuminous Pooh, absolutely. I am Brother Polite says, you need to debate Brother Sanchez. He has a bigger audience and smokes more weed. I have emailed with him, but he hasn't responded to me, and I haven't tried for a while, but maybe I will try to get him. I know he debated FTFE, and that went politely. So yes. Are they part of the Moorish nation too? So they are all over the place. If you watch some of their stuff, some are like, I'm a black Israelite. Some are like, I'm a Hebrew, and they're like picking hairs between these different definitions. And they're like, oh, well, today I'm this. There's Rastas in there. There's Muslims, and it's all over the place. So it's not like one narrow slice of religion. It's a full pie of craziness of religion, because none of them are just like, yeah, I'm Catholic. I'm not. I'm not. None of them are like that. Like, just, anyway. Dave Cernick says Tacori, for two Canadians, says Tacori is about as sharp as the edge of flat earth. Lord Illuminous Pooh for $5 says, I saw a neon sign of the Infinity Gauntlet snapping. I thought, great. I thought that would be great next to Grandpa's ashes. Nice. John Suffield for £2 says, ask him to explain southern circumpolar stars. I should have in the... Yes. And he, of course, would have nothing. Lance Jess Elias says, no gravity. No wonder I floated around all day. They think just saying no makes it stop going away. I don't know. Minnie Karen says, I live about 40 minutes away from the Israeli Hebrew community. Well, being in Israel would help for sure. Lord Illuminous Pooh says, hooked on phonics worked for him. Yeah, a couple pronunciation issues. Lance Jess Elias says, I've bounced a laser off the moon. How on Effie? It doesn't work. And of course, you must be one of the nameless, faceless they. Luke Firewalker says, for €5, that moment when the conversation gets too stupid for the internet connection. Yeah, when Tacori's internet just said, that's it. Not taking it anymore. I'm dropping out. Mandela, he says, you have 33 kids and expect us to believe you're not Catholic? I'm not. These are not the droids. Never mind. Lord Illuminous Pooh says, for $2, scale solar system in Discord. I had 30 seconds. It'd take more than 30 seconds just to pull that up. Yeah, and how ridiculous. He expects me in rapid fire when I have 30 seconds to have a scale model of the solar system. Many Karen. He didn't even ask what kind of swallow. Top left, indeed. The correct answer, when you're asked, what is the what is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? The answer is what? An European swallow or an African swallow? You didn't know that. $10 from Tim Pryor says, better question is, if they could zoom on people, how would you know if they're walking upside down? Seriously, point to the top of a basketball. This is why a lot of us laugh. Yes. Zoom in on the bottom. Oh my gosh. There's no down. Just rotate it. That's it. That's just... Lance Jess Elias again for $5 says, I have not personally been to the South Pole, but have used data from the South Pole Observatory and had people there send me live 24-hour sun pictures. Yeah, so he wanted a satellite picture of Antarctica. So in the prelim, there are a bunch of things that we talked about. He was going to bring measurements of flatness. I took notes. He was going, yeah, I almost asked him what's his favorite color. Right there. Here's my notes from the prelim. Can you see? He asked me if you can see curvature of water. I showed him that. He wanted, yeah, ice wall. Is Antarctica an actual continent? And he was going to bring measurements of flatness and an explanation for the downward acceleration. And all he did was say there is no downward acceleration. How? How do things fall then? Doesn't make any sense. Pat in the chat for $5 says, for the Seinfeld fans, nobody beats the Wiz. I have a Seinfeld clip, 3 of them in the video that's in the editor right now. It's so close to done. Maybe tomorrow. I'm a week late almost from what I wanted. Michigan's Natural Living, Dr. M. Thomas Farm D for $1.99 says the Euro guy is lying. Is that me? Am I the Euro guy? I'm not European. I'm Minnesotan. What are you talking about? Dora Nku for €2 says Toon obviously get destroyed in the bait. Thank you, Dora. I know you have faith. Let's see. The MCS moon would be the size of a pea about 2 states away. Yeah. They just can't even get scale. Like, you have to show to scale. You couldn't see it. It would be useless. Omega Red for $5 says Toon got more people in this chat than they got subscribers. Yes, thank you very much, people. This was a significant size. All right, let me look here at the peak. Peak 718. Wow, people, thank you very much. It's this earlier time frame is very nice to get some Europeans. Keith M says this demonstrates failure of our education system. The problem is, there are smart people and dumb people, and there are people that do well in school and people that don't do well in school. There isn't 100% overlap between smart and not smart in those. There's people that go to good schools, people that go to bad schools. In the end, though, if you want to be educated, you could be educated. If you don't want to be educated, there is no education system in the world that's going to get you educated. I don't know. It's sad. You really wish that people would get educated, but they have chosen not to. Tacori has chosen not to be educated. And his friend, Javante, who thinks he's Ra Thoth, he was proud that in high school he did nothing. He went to a private high school, an expensive private high school, because he played football. So I don't know if he got a scholarship or if somebody paid for it or what, but it was a really nice school and their academics are really good. He has no excuse. The education system at that school is good. He chose not to. It's his choice. All right. Mr. Unite for the Chill Wind says for $2, a one-topic voter, Summergate. Weeps for mankind. Yeah, she's like, it's all about Summergate. She didn't even ask me about Summergate. She asked Tacori about Summergate, and he did not know. And she's like, I'm voting against Toon because Tacori didn't know about Summergate. That's awesome. Lord Illuminous Pooh for $2 says, anyone else smell toast? Is that toast burnt? Is somebody having a stroke? Tim Pryor says for $10, I hate when people say everybody experienced the flat earth is flat. You should see how hilly it is where I live. That's just dumb to say regardless. Yes. Just say, I experience it this way. That's not how you determine reality. That's how you deny science. That's it. You don't win when you deny science. $2 super chat from Summergate. Says MC Toon, why do you forsake me? Oh, Summergate. Forsooth. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know what goes after forsooth. I don't forsake you. Chili Wilson for $10 says, Micktoon, what cult platform are you going to go on next? I don't know. These people are crazy. And they like to just yap and yap. Their introductions. I mean, it's fun. When they introduce themselves, they can't just say, hi, I'm insert name here. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Which I guess makes it interesting. Gaming with both hands for $2 says, congrats, Toons. You got them fighting themselves. That's all they do. That's all they do. Toddbert for $5.33 Australian says, feels like family reunion where everyone's had enough drinks to stop pretending to like each other. Yes. In fact, he comes in with an interesting one for $2.79 Canadian. Says, what do you think of modern day debate now? Oh, geez. So, yeah, they were more structured and they did not allow jumping in, right? They kind of pulled me back. They pulled Tacori back. So I appreciate that. Very good for that. But the organization was tough. Tacori's in this chat. Wow. When am I going to premiere my 4-minute intro song? Benny Carey, they didn't even ask what type of swallow. Tim Pryor, ever notice, for $5, ever notice because of YouTube videos, everyone is now more of an expert than the actual experts? Well, that's Dunning-Kruger, isn't it? Tim Tully, we can explain it to you for $5. He says, we can explain it to you. We can't understand it for you. Yes, Tacori didn't understand the math. He wants me to break it down. Tacori, if you can't do trigonometry, there's no breaking it down. You need to go and brush up on trigonometry. Find somebody to tutor you or take a class or something. I'm not it. I'm not your tutor. Obi-Wan for $5 says, I want to go to Summergate. It sounds wonderful. Yeah, that in the summer, they think the ice wall melts enough that they can go out to another part of Flat Derpia. All right, albino gay bad guy, not gay guy, albino bad guy for $5 says you always say my name wrong, and I said it wrong. It's not albino bad guy. It's albino bad guy. Like the white guy from Da Vinci Code in my pick. Albino bad guy. Oh my gosh. Yes. All right. Sorry. I tell you, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons. I read both of them a couple times. I read the other two Dan Brown books that were basically the same plot that he put out. Like he put 4 out kind of early. I think the first 2 were like writing up the plot, and then he used it in the last one. So, Man Devil says, I honestly thought Summergate was a scandal around that actress from the Terminator YouTube or TV series. That's right, her name was Summer. Yes. All right. Jeebus, what summer does the Summergate melt in? That would be the southern hemisphere summer, which is December. Peaks at December. It starts in December. Summer Glow from Serenity. Oh, yes. Firefly. Very good. Oh, such a good series. I love that series. All right, I got a couple chat. All right, Albino sent me a message. All right. I think so. Let me write them. Mark is on red. Let's see. Frank Burns sent me a whole bunch. Hold on. Frank Burns. All right. Frank Burns wants to judge. And Obi-Wan says Summer Glow equals definition of hotness. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, this was interesting. And since the Flurf ran on the next one, I'll have to think what I'll do. Maybe I'll do one at 9. And I'll just have a... Oh, hold on a second. It was a tiebreaker. So what was there a tie break? Did Tacori or did anybody watching theirs? Was there a tiebreaker? Did they decide something in the end? I know maybe they're still talking about it. Maybe in 2 or 3 weeks they'll have a decision. Thomas Matthews says Tacori's proof that not all Flurfs are pose. Some are just dumb as hell. Dora Nku says it was decided to do a rap battle. Well, Tacori, I can't win a rap battle. I am the worst rapper in the world. So unless you're worse than the worst rapper in the world. So, oh, they want to do it again. Oh my gosh. Well, but Mandevil there says their chat was full of votes for you, and they called a tie, not biased at all. Well, before it started, they weren't going to go to the chat for votes. I don't think. I don't know if people were here for the beginning. What happened to Multi Tom Tom? I've not seen him in a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this. I have to go to the bathroom. I will start the one that Philip is supposed to be in at 9, and I'm just gonna call him out, and then we'll just do something kind of fun. So if you are on YouTube here, it will give you a link. It will link you to the next one. So and mods, you could drop a link in there. But thank you, everybody. Thank you to the super chats. This was a lot of fun. It's very different than hosting it here. But Tacori, I'm glad that you did it. I thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to go anywhere that we can have a somewhat well moderated debate, something the opposite of what Nathan Oakley does. So, all right. Now, it would have been smooth if my outro was already prepped, but it wasn't. Okay, so let's do that again. I have something coming up at 9. The 8 o'clock one, I'm going to move to 9. So that's what I'm going to do. So you got about 10 minutes, people, and then, or 14. So we'll see you in a little bit, everybody. Thanks a lot.